Gents. Shawnee, first time?
First time for me in Trollope, so yeah, looking forward to it. Well,
Have you seen the season go for this year? One day has been good?
yeah, I've enjoyed the one days. Obviously with COVID, it's a completely different season this season. I think the RDCA has done a fantastic job getting the season away. I think we only had, hardly any issues. I think a great call last weekend with the weather. RDCA has done a fantastic job, I think.
Well, congratulations again, Sean. Eddie, it's your second time, but your first time, if you know what I mean. So Eddie, you was due to do last year, but obviously got called off due to COVID. So good to get out there.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed last season. I got the chance to do my first Trello, but obviously with COVID, game got abandoned, and so I was hoping this year I'll get a second chance, which I have. So I'm really looking forward to it. So,
and the good thing is for you gents is the weather's not going to play a part, which it takes a bit of stress off your shoulders, so you can enjoy the game as much as anyone else, or relatively. Anyway, congratulations again. Cheers.
There you have it. Thanks, Dave. Eddie Wu and Sean Everett, the officiating umpires this afternoon in today's big Trollope Shield Grand Final. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again to Montrose Oval for the broadcast of this Grand Final. My name is Wayne Brasher, and throughout the afternoon our regular commentators will be joining us, and joining us on the commentary team this afternoon will be Dave Raggett and Shane Kelton from Amiralbark Cricket Club. But with me at the moment, Bayswater Park legend. I had the pleasure of doing this game a couple of years with him a couple of years ago, and it was great on commentary, and it's a very warm welcome to you, Marcus Adams. Morning, Marcus.
Morning, Wayno. Cheers, everyone. I'm really looking forward to today. Two really good, really even teams looking to take home the silverware.
Initial thoughts. I know you. I know you keep a very close eye on all the competitions. Anything in Trollope Shield off the top of your head that's stuck out this year?
Just the evenness. There hasn't been a massive dominance of either bat or the ball this year. So in years previous, there have been some dominating facets of the game, but it's been very even. All games being one days this year have really evened up that balance.
It does make for interesting cricket because sometimes, as we all well know, often the best side doesn't actually win the game, does it?
Well, in years previous, if it's a 2-day game, you're always backing North Ringwood in. Not really their strong suit being a 1-day game. They've done really well to make the finals this year, and then fell short last week against South Croydon. So 1 day is just it just all happens on that 1 day. You don't have the 2 innings to really push through.
No, and look, it's not only Trollope Shield this afternoon, Michael, that grand finals are set down for decision, but I've dubbed it Super Saturday because we've got 6 Premier Grade grand finals all the way down to Spencer, which has been regraded a Premier Grade, and we're going to actually start going through that. We've put together a little bit of a program, right, and we're just going to start having a look at these games. We're going to start at Spencer, and just before we do, there'll be plenty of guests coming up throughout the afternoon. We'll have the President, Michael Finn. I believe Joe Ferry has some guests, some sponsors that we're going to talk with throughout the afternoon, and Dave Raggett, and he may have a few other surprise guests up his sleeve, as well as doing commentating. But let's kick things off, Marcus, with the Ian Spencer Shield, and it sees Wonga Park second 11 taking on Mount Evelyn second 11 up at Wonga Park this afternoon. Interestingly, Wonga Park have been the benchmark side in this grade this year, and Mount Evelyn have been close about. This game's going to be pretty close. What are you thinking here?
Well, also this game is being live streamed on Frogbox as well, so Wonga Park has jumped on board that. So
yep,
if you're wanting your fix of live cricket being streamed this week, they're going to be everywhere. Wonga Park, completely against the tide of the Trellope sense of things. They take lots of wickets, and it looks like they will bat first. Not that much, and they're happy to chase it. Bowl team's out for not much, and that looks like the tail of the tape for them. So
Yeah, in Wonga Park in the second 11, Marcus, interestingly enough, they've only lost 81 wickets with the bat Wonga Park this year, average of 25 a wicket. Mount Evelyn have lost 100 wickets, but nearly around the same average per back wicket at 25 as well. The net run rate is interesting here between the two sides. Wonga Park 1.01, which is very, very a strong figure in this comp, and Mount Evelyn also very healthy 0.22. So, you know, look, Wonga have shown in this grade that their ability to score runs and score quickly is going to be paramount here.
Yeah, it also shows you what batting second can do, because you're in complete control of your destiny. You know what you have to do to win the game, and a lot of these results will be on the back of them chasing scores 3-4 wickets down, and really boosting up that run rate and percentage.
Yeah, and the players to watch in the Spencer Shield Grand Final, you've got Dylan Matthews. He's been their best run getter or highest score this year, 78 not out against Churnside in round 3. Tom McKinney with the ball, 5 for 20 against Mount Evelyn in round 2. And for Mount Evelyn, Darren Westerway, 79 against Wanturna in round 4, and Jack Van Ray, 5 for 24. Plenty of lots of run getters in Spencer Shield. Jackson Ford, 259 leading the run there and leading the runs there, and Darren Westerway 414. That's a pretty sizable amount for one day, isn't it, Marcus?
Yes, I'm pretty sure Jackson Ford's actually playing in the ones today, which takes out quite a bit of batting depth for them. And I'm also going to give a shout out to my mate Steve Patterson. We've virtually come up playing cricket together from right up in the under 16s all the way through. So it's really good to see him getting into a grand final and doing well for his team. He's always been there and thereabouts. So.
And Michael Williamson for Wonga Park seconds, 28 wickets at 11.5, is the best bowler in Wonga this season. And Andrew Giblin for Mount Evelyn seconds, he's got 15 wickets at 23. So a very, very close contest in tow there. Let's move on to me and Shield, Marcus, and Heathwood have been, their star's been on the rise. They had a realignment. They've changed their name from the Baptist. They went from a 3-team side. All of a sudden the club's grown. They've got juniors, up to 5 sides now. Their second 11 won the flag last weekend. It's a great fillip for a club leading into a grand final today.
Well, it is. They've created their own identity, which is it's a hard thing to do, but it's really opened up their potential. They got Robert Grabner back.
Yep.
From his stint at Baronia, so that's a massive in, and that can only set up a side when you've got a pretty decent player like him coming into your lineup. Yeah,
looking at Heathwood's performances throughout the season. 2,106 runs, and they've only lost 104 wickets at an average of 25. South Warrandyte 2,458. They've lost 114 wickets at 21.56. But keep in mind that South Warrandyte have played that extra game in the final series. Really good scores, competitive scores for both Heathwood and South Warrandyte seconds. 6 for 227 has been their highest, Heathwood, for the season in round 13 against East Ringwood, whilst in round 2 South Warrandyte 7 for 248 when they're over there with victory over Lilydale in round 2. The players to watch in this grade of final, you've got for Heathwood Ethan Weston with 75 runs, and Chris Dydoon 6 for 12 is the best individual bowling performance by Heathwood player in a performance this season. He got that in round 2 against Warrandyte. And for South Warrandyte, some experience here, Darcy Price. His top score of 80 was a leading run getter in an innings against Warrandyte in round 4, and Jackson Emery 4 for 11 in round 11 against Lilydale. The one thing that you know about South Warrandyte is Damien Vozzo really has thrown the has thrown the deck chairs open this year, because I think he's used close to 26 players here, Marcus, in Me and Shield. Obviously, he likes to he's trying to find the players that can move the club forward, and it looks like there's some interesting little performances there.
Yeah, it's a classic case of a first 11 versus a second 11. So in the second 11, you'll have guys that come down, and then you'll have the guys from the thirds that come up. So you'll have that really massive, broad scope of players that will filter through those teams. Whereas a first 11, you're looking at your best 11, and then you'll have a couple of guys come in and out of those second 11s as you go through.
Yep.
And you can see that in the fact that it's 14 players for Heathwood have played throughout the year.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing to see is their strike rates. A lot of these batsmen up the top of their list go very, very hard.
Yeah.
They've all got strike rates over 100. And so I don't know if that's the way they play, is they go hard and hope for the best, or whether there's a little bit more method to the madness.
I think I think what you're saying about the high strike rates, Marcus, is the fact that that is a prevalent figure in the top 11s. There is quite a significant amount of players, 5 or 6 players in most sides, that are going over 100 in strike rate. So there is a more aggressive mindset in no matter what grade you're playing, I reckon.
Yeah, so you get to see it. You get to see it now with the advent of the My Cricket Live score.
Yeah,
we can keep a better track of that and how they're going. And well, if you're scoring fast in one-day cricket, you're open to the big score and batting a lot of teams out of the game.
Yeah, other players, like I said, watching for Heathwood, like I said, Chris Didoon, not only 6 for 12 is his best performance with the bat, but he's leading the runs as well, 329. So he's probably what you would call the franchise player. You got Ethan Weston on 272 and Brent Gordon on 253. Then the wicket takers for Heathwood, you've got Richard Gordon with 18 wickets at 12 and Glenn Oakey 18 wickets at 19. So very consistent performances here. Whilst for South Warrandyte, Alistair Price 299, Amal Wiramentry 235, and probably the pick of the bowlers, Sean McMahon. He's got 18 wickets at 11, and Troy Donis 15 at 14.8. A very, very interesting contest set down for decision at Heathmont Reserve, and good luck to both those sides. And I think I'm thinking Heathwood might win this one, Marcus.
I'm going to back my boy in Damien Vozzo. He's a Bayswater Park guy as well, so love him to bits. So I'd love to see his team get up.
The wind sprung up here a little bit out here, but it's still a lovely afternoon in store for us. So if you're looking for a place to come and watch some cricket, come up to Montrose Reserve this afternoon and enjoy what's going to be an enthralling game of cricket. Let's move on to Pasco Shield, and two sides that have basically dominated this competition this year, Marcus, has been Ainsley Park second 11 and Montrose second 11. It's been neck and neck with these two sides this year. Ainsley Park, with that victory in the last round in round 14, won the home ground advantage leading into a qualifying final the week before. They got the victory against Montrose. Montrose had to back it up and come through the preliminary final, which they have duly done, and now these two rightfully meet in a grand final. What are your initial thoughts on this grade?
Well, this one at the moment, there's a lot of guys that I've played against in this competition, and I've played with Daniel Ferguson, who was another Bayswater Park captain coach. So a lot of these guys I've played against are all very good players. And there's no surprise that these guys are at the top of the table.
Yeah, when you look at their performances throughout the season, Ainsley Park 2,073 runs. They only lost 89 wickets at an average of about 23. They scored around .71 runs per 100 ball. That's a very good strike rate at this. But Montrose, they go that little one better. They're averaging around 27 over 2,723 runs at 100. They're around nearly .8. So they're nearly scoring at 80 runs per 100 ball. So very aggressive teams, these two. You look at their individual performances. highest score for Ainsley during the season was at round 6 against Wantirna South, 7 for 231, and for Montrose 5 for 233 in round 13 against Eastfield. Some individual high performances in these grades. The best batting for Ainsley Park was Trent Sire, who won a flag the other night in the Vets, 79, and Jimmy Hunter, who's been the pick of the bowling for Ainsley Park this year in this grade, 4 for 14. That was against Wantirna South in round 6. And for Montrose, Josh Bromley, a 106 not out against Eastfield in round 13, and Daniel Crowe. Probably these two guys might be one of those unlucky ones that probably couldn't get their way into a first 11 grand final team, but he got 5 for 11 against Wandon. So some very impressive individual performances there for both sides heading into a grand final, and some more interesting thoughts on this game as well, Mark, as you look at some more of these players like Trent Sire, which you've played against some of these guys, 467, Cam Eustace 287, Sean Meanie 209, Nathan Croot 207, and whilst for Montrose you got Matty Stella 429 runs with Lincoln Grigg 288, Sam Giebert 240, and Josh Bromley 194. So there's a lot of run makers in this game. This could be a run fest. What do you think?
Well, I hope so. Again, it's another game on Frogbox, so I'm sure we're going to have that poking through the iPad at some stage this afternoon. Again, it's a lot of high scoring.
Yep.
Seeing some of the Montrose games on the Frogbox, they go pretty hard. I love it. I love watching teams hit boundaries, take the game on. They're two very well drilled sides too.
Yeah, looking at the individual squad performances here for Ainsley Park, we just spoke about Jimmy Hunter before. 21 wickets at an average of 8.86. Look, that's a marvellous effort by him to be under 10 for a season in a one-day comp. Whilst Daniel Crowe, he's averaging 11. Right, for his 27 wickets. And right, we've got the teams here for that clash this afternoon, and I'm going to read them out. For Ainsley Park, we've got Evan Jones, Bailey Kluwer, Cameron Eustace, Daniel Allen, James Hunter, Mark Seeley, Matthew Delahunty, Nathan Croot, Sean Manetti, the captain, Trent Sire, Ty Ridley, the keeper, and Josh White. And for Montrose, Daniel Ferguson will be leading the team, with Lincoln Grigg, Daniel Crowe, Cooper Grigg, Josh Bromley, Matty Stella, Tyler Sonsini, Blake Podesta, Bailey O'Neill, Sam Giebert, Oscar McCallum, and Cameron Storm. So there's a wealth of experience running out this afternoon for both sides, Marcus, and I'm expecting a very close contest. What's your final thought? Does Ainsley get the job done, or does Montrose? Can they win this one?
I feel like in this one, Ainsley's got the experience.
Yep.
To be able to do it. Obviously, a few of them won the 2020 Vets Grand Final during the week.
Yep.
I'm backing in Montrose.
Yep.
I'm backing in Fergie. He was great for us when he did his thing, and leading that team. That they've got a good mix of youth and experience, and I think they might get the job done. Yeah,
look, I thought it was a 50-50 game. I actually found this game the hardest game when I was sitting there and trying to put my thoughts together, because both sides bring strengths and weaknesses to the lineup, and I'm going to stick with Montrose. I think the overall brilliance of the season, their capability of scoring more than 200 runs in a lot of innings this year sets them apart, and I think if they bat and can get on top early, I think they can dictate the contest this afternoon. We're down to we're starting now to get down to the business end of the season, and we're now going to have a look at Newey Plate. Newey Plate's been probably one of the closest competitions so far this year in the RDCA. It's been a highly competitive grade, and the two combatants today have earned the right, Mount Evelyn and Chirnside Park. It's up at Mount Evelyn Reserve. I've had a look at that ground and say, very interesting little ground, Marcus. It's not a circle, it's not an egg, it's something resembling a circle, isn't it?
I've never been there personally.
No.
But they seem to get the job done, and they seem to love playing there. So
yeah, you look at when we're talking about strike rates here, Marcus. You're having a look at the Mount Evelyn strike rates. There's some massive ones here. You've got Chad Witherden, 214. You've got Kane Jones, who I reckon is nearly the best cricketer in Newey Plate, bar none. He's got 160. Troy Hancock, 178. Gareth Fraser, 125. But the strength, the total of the tape, I reckon, comes when you look at the overall team performance for the season for Mount Evelyn. 2,245 runs with only losing 86 wickets and an average of 26. Their run per over is around 5.15, but they also score at about 86 runs per 100 balls, which is a very, very aggressive rate at this level. Churnside, 110 wickets throughout the season for 22.91, average of 21, run rate respectable 4.17. And look, Mount Evelyn 15 matches, 11 wins and 3 losses. Churnside 16 matches, 10 and 5. Look, there's some. You're looking at individual performances here. Mount Evelyn 3 for 235 against fellow finalist Croydon North in round 9. Yarra Junction was also Churnside's highest score in round 1, 4 for 198. So they haven't really Churnside. They haven't really scored heavily after that, have they?
no, well, they haven't really had to in
No.
earlier games as well. So it's a massive thing. Mount Evelyn have been the team to beat for probably since they came into the competition a couple of years ago. They didn't get the job done against St Andrews. Obviously, COVID kind of hampered them. So they've been the team to beat. They go out, they play really hard. They look like a well-oiled machine. But then again, like Churnside Park have gone out. They've chased what they wanted. They got a couple of extra new players to the club.
Yep.
Spent some money, which is all well and good. Well done to them.
Yeah.
And then they've come to the fore because their captain stood up last week and has got them into a grand final.
The thing is, yeah, I you know, and keeping in mind when we look at, as you have alluded to, Marcus, the reason why some of the stats in all these games may seem a little bit lopsided, or not so much lopsided, but the averages might feel a little skewed, is the fact that on a lot of occasions, depending on who bats first, and the score actually determines right how your averages are going to go right throughout the season. If you're dismissing sides cheaply, your average runs is not going to be high because you're not chasing many. So you just got to probably temper that and keep everything in its right perspective. You look at Mount Evelyn, Gareth Fraser. He's the leading, or he had the best individual performance of the season with a 90 against Yarra Junction in round 13. Kane Jones, 5 for 26 against Churnside in round 14. So he's got form against Churnside. Whilst for Churnside, Jaden Battaglini, he's had a tremendous last month of cricket. His top score of 92 was in round 6 in South Warrandyte, and I think the guy that has actually brought consistency to a club that was inconsistent, and it's changed that culture around a little bit, has been the captain Shane Costick, 5 for 26, and he got that in round 1, and he actually missed games throughout the season as well. So it was actually a really good. It was really good that the club was able to move forward when he didn't play. So they obviously they've grown, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's been a talking point on the Melbourne Cricket Facebook page.
Yep.
And the Ghost Riders had his little bit of fun in what he said, and he's given Shane quite a lot of stick.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of stick, saying that he's not stepping up, he's not earning his money, so to speak. But then last week he turns around and he gives the proverbial finger and says, I'm here to play, I've done my part, I've shown you what to do. Now they're in a grand final and they've got every chance of winning.
I think that's been really harsh on Shane, because you look at the clubs that he's played at. He's been perennially successful, and he's been in their top two,
yep.
right, in batting and bowling at every club that he's had, and he has a pedigree of success. So, you know, I reckon that's a really hard call. I reckon.
I know. I've got friends at Monbolg who have stuck the boot into the rider and said that Shane's been fantastic for them when he was there, and he's done everything that he can, and they're in a grand final, so he's done what his job's there to do. And
the thing is, it's not only what he does on the field, but it's what he does off the field. I mean, there are things, as you well know, that you can't measure that's on a cricket field. It's what actually happens off the field. He may be quiet and cool, calm and collected, but I know Shane well enough to know that there's a real in that Costick family. That family is a competitive beast family, because Cameron plays a game like that as well. But Shane's equally as determined, but maybe not as... He lets his actions do the talking. And I think that sometimes you've got to have people like that.
Yeah, he's been a ripper for them. Unfortunately, I don't see them getting the job done
Not today?
I don't see it today. I just think that Mount Evelyn have been a powerhouse in that competition, and it's probably time for them to come up. Yeah,
well, as I said, some of those figures that back it up. Kane Jones, 423 runs, along with his 18 wickets. He's probably he is the premier player in this competition this year. Daniel Fraser for them, 317 runs, right, and the other couple of players of note, Troy Hancock, 304, and Gareth Fraser, 218. Whilst for Chirnside, you've got Jaden Battaglini, 407 runs, Shane Costick, 395, and Glennie Spencer, 275. Been a good pickup for them as well, I reckon.
He is, but he's not playing today, so
that's unfortunate.
He's hurt himself, and that's probably the old man in him just kind of catching up. He's a ripper bloke. He's done a lot of stuff for for Croydon Rangers previously, and now he's plying his trade with his son down at Chirnside, and unfortunately he's not playing. I don't think he'd be the difference though.
No, and obviously it'd be good to see a guy like Rob Clark, who's been a great servant at Chirnside. Be nice to see him come away with a flag, but I'm like, I think Newey, I think this is Mount Evelyn's time. Like he said, they've been the best side in Newey Plate for 2 years. They didn't get a chance to show it last year, but I reckon they get their chance this year, and I think they'll show everyone else why they were the best side in the competition. Let's move on. We're now on to the final two games, and this is what a contest this promises to be, but there's a big key out in this game this afternoon, Marcus. The Wilkins Cup this afternoon is between Norwood First 11 and Wonga Park First 11. It's at Mullum Reserve, but I've heard officially that Ben Osborne is not playing for Wonga Park this afternoon because of coaching and football commitments. That's a big blow heading into a grand final.
It's massive, and this game is the genuine 50-50 game, and then you take out your leading run scorer averaging close to 40 runs, and you take that out of your team. Also, he's got the experience. He's been at Ringwood district level, he went to Bayswater at sub-district level, coaching, captaining premierships, goes into this side, brings his experience, gets them into a grand final, and then obviously he's missing.
You want to read out the two sides, Marcus, that are going to take the field in the Wilkins Cup Grand Final?
I will. So I'll start with Norwood, home team. Adam Baker, Matthew Sampson, Ben Hasty, Grant McInerney, Lloyd Jordan will wicket keep, Dan Matsayers, Nathan Lester, Luke Barber, Jason Kahn, Gabriel Lawson, Sam Story will captain, and Charlie Lawson, I think, is the 12th man.
Okay, and who have we got for Wonga?
Wonga, we've got Michael Ledson, Ben Matthews, Jackson Ford, who's come in for Ben Osborne.
Yep.
The Wiggle Wiggle Woo, Jake Wigney as captain.
Yep.
Josh McDonald, Sam Matthews, Toby Ford, Dylan Daniel, the White brothers, Ben and Josh, Tom Hancock and Tyler Parker.
Yeah, well, look, for Wilkins, Wilkins has been close this year, Marcus, and you're more qualified than most to talk about Wilkins this year. Have, in your opinion, looking at the stats that we'll go through in a sec, but on face value, these two sides have been the best side in Wilkins this year?
On paper, yes. I didn't get to play against Wonga this year. I was injured for the first game and we had the COVID for the second.
Yep.
They look honest. They look like they all do their thing. Pretty well drilled with how they go about it. And then Norwood on the other side are still heavily reliant on Ben Hasty and Sam Story.
Yep.
They've had Nathan Lester step in for a few games to kind of ease a little bit of that pressure, but they're still heavily reliant in that sense.
With a lot, well, just looking at individual performances, Ben Osborne, you're taking 500 runs out of that side, right, which leaves Joshua McDonald opening with the other opener with 367. Jake Wigney, he's actually coming to form in that last month for Wonga Park, and he had to. He's just started to come good with the bat and the ball, and he's going to have to maybe produce something today for Wonga Park. I'm really impressed with the White boys. I think they show a lot of promise with the as an opening bowling combination. But I'm also a bit of a fan of that young bloke Dylan Daniel, the little left arm spinner at 20 years of age, not afraid to give the ball a little bit of flight. He's taken 20 wickets this year at 21.3, and I think he's been a success story for them this year. Obviously, the player that probably the player that controls the destiny of the game this afternoon, and I agree, is Ben Hasty. 525 runs. He's got a century this year at 102, strike rate of 105. He's played 14 matches. Sammy Story 439 runs. Nathan Lester 394, I should say. And you've got Grant McInerney, been a great get for them from Croydon Rangers, taken 29 wickets at 13. But Nathan Lester has probably go close to winning the comp average here, 30 at 11.8.
Yeah, so he came to the club as a wicketkeeper. So
unbelievable.
It's amazing that you can add these strings to your bow, and he's become a vitally important part of the Norwood cog. And you look at that, and they've brought in McInerney and Lester, and they've brought in nearly 60 wickets.
I also think too, it's Luke Barber. There's been a mainstay there. 11 came back, and he had to earn his spot towards the end of the year. To spend 3 games in the twos before he won his spot back. He's got obviously when he's on song, he can produce. 7 for 9 is the best individual performance by a Norwood bowler this season, and he did that against St Andrews. Whilst Ben Hasty was their top scorer with 102 in round 4 against East Ringwood, while Benny Matthews in round 14 against the Rangers smashed 129, and Benny White round 8 in Warrandyte 5 for 44. Some really good individual performances there. Both sides is capable of over 240 runs. Norwood 6 for 239 against Warrenwood, and Wonga Park 7 for 267. Looking at this game and looking at both these sides, who are very aggressive, 81 runs per 100 balls. I reckon this is going to be a run fest, but I think the experience of Norwood, and I think the loss of Osborne, and if Hasty can take the game by the throat, will lead Norwood to victory.
Well, Norwood's a big ground as well, so there's lots of gaps, especially when the game goes deeper.
Yep.
So once the field starts to spread, those gaps get even bigger. If you're willing to put your head down and run hard, you can score big on that ground. And if you hit it well enough, you can go for 4.
So you got Norwood for you?
I'm going Norwood. I think Osborne's too big of an out.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, just going back to Luke Barber, I think he spent that time in the seconds because he was a little bit ill-disciplined with his wides.
Okay.
He was bowling a lot of extras.
Yes.
Giving a lot of extra balls, and it was around that period when Norwood started losing a few games.
Yep.
So it was one of those that they kind of had to they had to jump in, and they had to kind of just straighten him up a little bit. So hopefully today he can come out and do the same thing.
Well, before we go on to Trollope, we might hold Trollope over as we start going through the broadcast here, Marcus. But we're going to introduce now the president, El Presidente of the RDCA competition in Michael Finn. Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon, Brash. How are you? Good afternoon, everyone. It's an awesome day for cricket, and certainly beats the heck out of where we were this time last year.
Yeah, 2 years in the making. I've dubbed this Super Saturday, and for very good reason, because the RDCA have done a lot of not only soul searching, but regrading and probably re-promotion. And with 6 designated Premier Grade cricket, you look at the participants this afternoon, and we're going to be in for 6 enthralling contests.
I've been hunting through my cricket, and then obviously when the stats went up on the Facebook page, and whoever did that was genius. It was fantastic.
Me.
Well done to you. But the matches are really, really evenly poised, and I think it's like all finals. There's no clear winner in any grade, or there's no clear favourite, should I say.
We were just talking, Michael, then obviously we think with the loss of Ben Osborne in the Wilkins Cup that may swing the difference to in Norwood's way, but as you well know, cricket's such a funny game. When it comes to when you look at the RDCA this year, obviously with the many challenges, I mean, we've had rain interruptions, we've still had our own little COVID interruptions. They've thrown everything at cricket this year, the government, haven't they?
Yeah, look, I think the only thing that hasn't happened is that Noah's Ark hasn't come down Maroondah Highway at this point in time. Everything else that could have been thrown at us has. But look, I'm very grateful to be sitting here, but I must quickly very much expand upon the fact that across all the committees and all the grades and all the clubs that, yes, I sit here, and yes, I've been the one on Facebook, but I'm more than wonderfully supported by a whole bunch of people that are so committed to get through.
Personally, for me, Michael, I think the real success of the RDCA for me this year has been the introduction of the clubs from the Yarra Valley into the various grades that you and your committee have put a lot of time and time into, with input from the ex-Yarra Valley people, and you got it right. Yeah,
look, I think that we spent many months figuring out how that might work, and there's been a subcommittee of the senior committee.
Yep.
That was put together, headed up by Pat Meanie.
Yep.
I think Stuart Menetti's on there, and then we were very lucky to be able to have David Peel and Paul Broussard on there as well as a couple of others.
Yep.
And it's go time, Brash. It's go time.
It is, and players and officials are now moving out onto the ground. Montrose won the toss and have elected to South Croydon have won the toss and have elected to bat, and Samik Bra and Ryan Smith will be opening the batting, and we look forward to bringing the game to you right throughout the afternoon. Well, Michael, thank you very much for coming up and giving some moments of your time, and we'll probably be talking to you throughout the coverage this afternoon, because I know we've got some other things planned for during the break.
Can I, firstly, just on behalf of the RDCA, just wish everyone the best of luck today.
Yep.
I also want to thank everyone in the RDCA community for their focus and their energy in actually getting this season through.
Yep.
And today is going to be a highlight for everyone. Winner or loser, it's a really bad cliche, but cricket is going to be the winner today, because this time last year,
yep,
we weren't actually playing.
All right.
So best of luck to everyone. Thanks, Brash. Have a great call.
Thank you very much. There you have it, President, El Presidente, Michael Finn, with his thoughts. Play is just about ready to get underway here. And it looks like Matty Whitaker, I think, is
taking the ball.
Matt Whitaker.
Just an update of Wilkins as well.
Yes.
Wonga Parker batting first there.
And we'll have scores right throughout the afternoon from that contest as Whitaker comes in to bowl to Sammy Bra. nice generated a bit of speed off that pitch there, Marcus.
Yeah, not a lot of movement though, so
No,
we'll see what happens. Obviously, first ball, we get a little bit of cobweb out. Their warm up was very intense. I'll take that much out of this morning. It was very different to what I've seen in most local cricket. So
Sameet Brack facing up to Whittaker again, just leaving that ball outside the off stump, no run. Much Sameet Bra as they call him, Meter. He's worked himself into some good form with the bat and ball, heading into this final series. Scored 101 in recent times, and he's in form with the bat again.
yeah, well, he made 100 against us last year.
Yep. As Whittaker comes into bowl, once again, very cautious. There's Sameet Bra just watching that ball go through to the keeper. He's one of those. He's one of those players that can turn a game very, very quickly, isn't he, Marcus?
Yeah, he's very aggressive. So interesting seeing him watching the first three go. They've all been in the same spot. So hopefully we'll see him lift the run rate a little bit.
You look at.
We're just having a slight delay with a car in the way.
It always happens, doesn't it? There's always a car. Yeah, you look at.
It's a green Mazda 3. So if you are at Montrose and you do drive that car, please come and remove it.
As Whittaker comes into bowl to Bra again. Once again.
Very watchful.
Yeah. Sameet Bra 291 runs this year at an average of 22.38 with a higher score of 101 not out. Strike rate around 75. I reckon that might be a bit low for him because I reckon in days gone past at East Ringwood he was well over 100.
He was batting a lot more aggressive there. He was also batting at 4 or 5 though, so maybe opening the batting's asking him to bat a little bit more time and put a little bit more pride on the wicket. So
that's what happens, I think, when you play with a higher grade. You've got to place more value on your wicket. Finally getting back to ball there, I think you'd be happy just to feel the bat touch the ball there. This has been a really good opening over here by Whittaker. Very watchful South Croydon early on. As Whittaker once again comes into bowl to Bra. Bra just nice ball there. Just had him pushing forward there. And that's the end of the over. A good over at that. Maiden over, really. A maiden over,
yeah,
which is
over.
rare.
Don't see many of them in one-day cricket.
No.
He's put them all in a good spot, asked a good question, and sometimes you just have to nod your head and go, well done, son.
Yep. Well, his counterpart at the other end, reigning Bill Dean medalist.
And I think could be 2-time by the end of the season. So
he's had a fantastic season, Ryan Smith. 15 matches here, 477 runs at 35, high score of 67 last week in the prelim final, strike rate of 68. He's one of the most elegant players. When he hits the ball, he doesn't need to put a lot of time and energy into it because it just sails to the boundary, Marcus.
Yeah, he's a very good timer of the cricket ball. Makes it look very, very easy, and I'm not a fan of that because cricket is a hard game to play.
I think is this Matty McCain? No? Matty McCain coming into bowl. You'll be hearing the dulcet tones throughout the afternoon of Shane Kelton and our media manager Dave Raggett, as they're part of our commentary team. Matty McCain, well left there by Ryan Smith.
His bowling's really come on this year. I haven't seen him like as much of a bowler in his first 11, so to have him coming in, now he's taking the new ball in a Trollope final, it's a massive congratulations.
Kane bowls to Smith, who just off that back foot just punches it through the cover region for a single. He actually only came into the side halfway through the season. I think he played 7 or 8 games in the second 11, Marcus. So he had to fight for his spot this year.
Well, you can only give him credit for that. He's made runs in the past, and so this is a new string to the bow. It's always good, especially in one-day cricket.
McCain into bowl to Smith, who just Sammy Bra, who comes out of his crease, is trying to break the length up here, and he manages to get bat on the ball, and he pushes that ball just through cover point for a single.
Yeah, Frosty's first shot was a little bit uppish as well. That like both scoring shots have been through that cover point region. It might be a gap that Matt tries to fill.
Yeah, there is a gap. They've got a deep cover here,
especially with that little shaping outswinger that he's got going at the moment.
Yeah.
That could be maybe bringing the fine leg out and putting him into that cover and really just tightening them up.
When I look at a game of one day cricket, for me, Marcus, I have a non-negotiable is a 160, 4 and over. For me, is the minimum. I reckon you've got to be looking at as McCain comes into bowl.
Very rarely in one day cricket will you defend less than that. So
yep, it's basically a benchmark score, isn't it?
Absolutely.
As soon as you get 240, the mindset changes. You know you've got a run of ball. You just can't afford to have overs and 2 or 3. As McCain once again comes in the bowl, Sammy once again coming down the pitch. I think he's trying to create his own length here in some ways, Marcus.
Yeah, well, it's a very different picture from that first over that he faced. He was really setting his crease. He was willing to watch it. Maybe an element of respect to Matt Whittaker from the career that he's brought out. But Matt McCain being a little bit slower, a little bit less experienced with the ball, he's just trying to take that on, trying to hit the ball a bit harder and trying to create that scoring.
Whittaker coming back on for his second over as South Croydon are none for 3 off 2 overs. Ryan Smith just taking guard down there for the first time in the contest. It's going to be, like I said, very watchful South Croydon in the opening overs. Probably would just want to push the ball around, maybe get their 3 or 4 and over after about 10 markers. A look at being none for 40 after 10. That might be a good start as Whittaker comes into bowl. There must be a bit of swing going on out there because there's a lot of action behind the stumps too by the fielding team.
That one looked like it shaped back a little bit. There hasn't been a lot of movement in the air from Whittaker. I think that one did, and it took Ryan by surprise just a little bit. Almost lost his off stump.
Nice crowd building here this afternoon for the big Trollope Shield Grand Final. As Whittaker comes into bowl to Ryan Smith, who just gets on that front foot and just pushes the ball out into the cover region for no run. Like I said, there's other big grand finals in Super Saturday here on the RDCA. We've got the big clash, which will be giving you as many scores as we can between Wonga Park and Norwood this afternoon.
Score there currently is none for 11 off 1.2.
So Wonga Park batting first.
Wonga Park are batting first.
So they're Wonga Park are looking to send a statement early here as Whittaker comes into bowl. Smith once again, that's a lovely shot.
Wicket.
Once again trying to change the width. Just cuts the ball through backward point there for a couple of runs there.
Yeah, that's very much using the pace of the ball. He's created his angle. If he'd stayed in his crease, he's probably hitting that straight to point.
Whittaker once again coming into bowl to Smith. He's bounced. That's a bouncer there, but he's
short and
wide and got the treatment. And he's gone over the top through point, and that's a boundary there for Ryan Smith.
Smith is very strong on that offside, so if you're giving him any width, he'll look to score, and he'll score very heavily through that area. So it's a very dangerous spot to be bowling.
He moves on to, obviously he's on to more than 4. I think he's might be 5, 6.
8.
He's on 8. As once again Whittaker comes into bowl. Goes behind the stumps there. Smith just leaving it alone.
Changed the line, brought it in a little bit tighter.
That's the experience of Whittaker for you. When you've played at a high level and you know you've bowled a bad ball, the good ones know what adjustment they need to make to produce a non-scoring delivery. Whittaker once again coming into bowl to Smith, who once again goes down the pitch to try and break that length up, and once again makes contact with the ball and pushing the ball through cover, testing the fieldsman and taking a relatively easy single there.
Another single to that cover point region, so I think that's now 5 or 6 runs that have all come through that area. So
does that is that a position that do you think Meanie might have to think about putting an extra one in, maybe bringing in an extra cover or something?
Possibly. I don't think the singles are going to worry him that much. It's going to be more that bad ball that goes for a boundary. As we saw in the second over from McCain, there was a very uppish shot through that region, so all it takes is a half a centimetre on the bat, and that could just be shelled straight to point or to cover. So
end of the over there, and South Croydon now none for 10 off 4. A nice safe start for them as McCain comes in for the 4th over, I should say. Smith once again driving that ball on the up through the cover region for a single.
Again, another uppish ball through that cover point area.
Do you bring the deep cover up, Marcus, and bring him into a traditional cover?
I don't know. I think you chuck another one in there and say if you want to hit it through there, go for it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. McCain coming into bowl to Smith. Oh, there's an appeal there, and he's out.
Looked very, very straight on the. What are we calling the replays today? We'll call it the Joe Ferry field of view replay.
Yeah, the field of view replay. Yeah.
It looked very straight, nipped back a little bit, hitting the outside of leg stump. We'll give that one out.
So the key wicket of Ryan Smith is out. LBW.
Sammy Bra.
Sorry, Sammy Bra. LBW to McCain for 2, was it?
2.
For 2. 1 for 11 now, South Croydon. And I think this might be Ben Willis.
LBW.
Might be Ben Willis coming in.
I think it could be Mason Crozier.
Or Mason Crozier. Last week Ben Willis came in at number 3. And yeah, it was Ben Willis.
They've gone Willis?
Yes, Willis. Normally, as Michael King said on the radio, he's been coming in at 5 and 6 this morning. Last week he got a promotion to number 3 and did extremely well, because I think he threw the North Ringer bowling attack offline a little bit with his more aggressive nature. Expect a look for him to start scoring quickly and off the first ball as McCain comes into bowl. Willis leaving that one alone. Got very aggressive early, scored 10-15 runs in the space of about 6 or 7 balls, Marcus, and set the tone for him and Ryan Smith throughout the rest of the innings.
It's definitely what's needed. Getting off to a good start in one-day cricket can obviously set your team up. They've got players like Michael King that take a little bit more time to get started, so if they can get off to a good start and really set a good platform for him to come in and dominate the back half of the innings, it's going to set them up really well.
McCain coming into bowl to Willis. Willis once again leaving that one alone outside the off stump, and you look at South Croydon, very, very consistent side. They've only had 14 players play this year, and Willis has played 10 games. He's made 100, averaging 20 with a higher score of 37, coming in the middle order as McCain bowls to him. But he adds that element of aggression that sometimes will throw that can either work or won't work.
Very watchful there, leaving a few balls go.
1 for 11 here off 4. And Whittaker will obviously come on to bowl. Probably Shane Van Cole may come on first change, and Jake Crow. Look to them coming on soon, maybe after the openers have bowled 4 to 6 overs. You think?
They've got a lot of options. So they've also got Justin Perkins, and they've got Dan Demetrio.
Yep.
like Crow, there's a lot there for them to do.
Once again, Smith off that, just pushing that ball through that cover region.
I'm not used to seeing a Montrose side where Michael Edwards doesn't bowl either, so
No.
they must have lots of options if they're keeping him under cotton wool for his batting.
Yes. Barney Edwards had a good season. He actually had the highest individual score for Montrose in this comp this year over the season with a 90 not out. Whittaker comes into bowl. Willis just turns that one off his legs. Then off deep backward square for a single.
Whittaker going a little bit too hard there, just straying onto the pads. Update at Wonga Park is none for 16 off 3.
Good clip there, just over 5 and over there for Wonga. More importantly, no wickets down early. Whittaker coming into bowl. Smith once again trying to...
Wide down the leg side as well. So.
Yep, an extra run. Smith once again trying to actually come down the pitch and change the length of the delivery. Trying to throw Whittaker out of his stride here. Trying to force the ball to either be full or over pitched so he can turn it into a scoring opportunity. Once again, Whittaker comes into bowl to Smith. Smith just once again turns it. There's a chance if a run out or if he hits, he's out.
That would have been out by a long way.
Long way. That was Willis's call too.
Great work by Kieran Perkins, the wicketkeeper there, to scurry down, pick it up. He's a very good fielder too, so I'm actually surprised that he's missed the stumps.
Very close there. We've got the advantage up here of not only a front-on view from the LKM media, the people that are providing the sound and the audio this afternoon, but also a side-on view as Whittaker comes into bowl. Willis once again on his feet has just turned the ball behind square for another single.
Well, very straight this over. It must be a change of plan. He's really gone away from giving them any width outside off stump and trying to tighten them up, but it's creating scoring options on the leg side.
Whittaker in again, bowling to Smith. Smith once again. That's a lovely shot off the back foot through the cover region. That could go all. That's all the way for 4 runs. That's a lovely shot. That shot of the day so far.
Another shot through cover point. Wayne, I think we'll be harping on this one a little bit, I reckon.
I think you might be right.
But again, he's just off for that little bit of width. He's kind of just strayed, and then Ryan Smith's just jumped all over it and made sure that he punished it.
Whittaker into bowl again to Smith. That's a better delivery. And that's the end of the over. 5 down. Ryan Smith on 16. Benny Willis on 3. 1 for 20. Going at 5 and over. You're going at 4 and over at the moment here, which is par score, I think, for...
Yeah, I'd be really pushing for 180 plus out here today, I think. I'd be much more comfortable defending that. Matty McCain here is going to come in and bowl again. It's going to be interesting to see what Ben Willis does, whether he's going to stay watchful or whether he's going to go at the ball. We've just noticed that Shane Van Cole's starting to warm up at square leg, so he could be coming into the lineup too, as is Justin Perkins at mid-wicket, so potential double change.
Yeah, Matty McCain's taken 10 wickets this year, 15.8 in this competition. As he comes in the bowl, the catch through, but Willis found that gap between third slip and gully.
Well out of the reach of Barney. It was a bit high and to the right.
Would have been a good catch if he had even got near it.
Would have been an unbelievable catch at international level, let alone
local level.
Local level. So,
I mean, look, when you look at that gap there between point and probably looks like a second slip as McCain comes into bowl. Willis once again a little bit more watchful there. Didn't get the width there. When you got a little bit of when you've got a few gaps between second slip and gully, you got more than better than 50% chance of getting the ball through there, haven't you?
You're going to be stiff if you do get caught in that region, but fielder's there, keep it away from him.
Kane coming into bowl. Willis doesn't want a part of that delivery. Lets that one go through to the keeper. Bright start here for South Croydon. 1 for 24, exactly what they want. Scoring briskly at 4, just over 4 and over, which is good at this stage. That might be. Once again, going through to the keeper and
very watchful start here.
Yeah,
A lot of balls going through to the keeper. McCain obviously bowling his outswingers is.
yeah. He once again comes into bowl. Willis just pushing that ball back down the pitch. That's the end of the over. Will we be seeing a bowling change here? Whittaker, I think throughout the season only bowls for 3 or 4 overs, Marcus.
We are. Van Cole is taking the hat off and he's walking to his mark. And he spent a lot of time sitting there with the paint can today, just making sure that line was pristine.
Yeah,
Just like his haircut, he's running the dusty at the moment. So
yeah, he's a strange cat, Shane Van Cole. He marches to the beat of his own drum. He's 12 wickets this year in this competition. The whole season, average 26.5. Best bowling performance 3 for 15 at an economy rate of 4. That's pretty good at this level, I reckon.
yeah, you got to have those guys in your teams and in your associations. They're great people to have. He'll come in, he'll bowl some in-swingers here, and he'll try and really straighten it up.
He's got a bit of fire and brimstone about him too, which is what I like as he comes into bowl to Smith. Willis nearly over committing there, managed to pull himself up and get back into his crease.
He won't be afraid to have a chat too, Shane.
Oh no, I've seen that. I've seen Shane in action. Not afraid at all. Gee, there's that gap just keeps widening between cover and point. Van Cole into bowler Smith, who once again attacks and goes down the pitch. Once
Two
again,
steps down, not going to make it.
no. 2 runs there. But you can see Ryan Smith's intent.
Not letting him settle at all.
No, and he's looking to break the bowler's rhythm here.
Yeah,
Trying to change the pace.
Not gonna let him come in in his first couple of balls and just
No.
dictate what he's doing. So really good batting.
Van Cole in again to Smith. Smith just watchful again, leaving that ball go outside off stump. No run.
Shane had to change his length there to kind of make sure that Ryan couldn't get under it. So.
No. And I think this might, as I think, I'm almost thinking it could be a theme that South Croydon may want to. You look at so far, all 3 opening batsmen have are trying this sort of thing. Break the length up as Van Cole comes into bowl. Well, that one sort of might have deceived Smith there a bit.
It was a little bit wide and looked like it was a change up, so it's gone very wide. Very wide. He walked down the pitch. I think he tried to change his mind and didn't quite execute what he was wanting to do.
Van Cole into Smith. Smith once again just might beat a bit of pad there. Might be a leg by.
Down the leg side again.
Yep, leg by.
Tried a lot there. He will try a lot. He'll bowl 4 or 5 different balls and over if he'll try and take that wicket.
Yep.
Could go for a few runs, but could also get 2 or 3 in a hurry.
Van Cole in again to Ben Willis. Willis ever watchful. Just push that ball out to point. No run. Average score for Montrose in this competition this year was 169, whilst for South Croydon was 159, so nothing in it there. Van Cole comes into bowl. Willis once again just chops that one down through third man, down to third man I should say. for an easy single.
Yeah, could have been a chance for 2, but looked like the first one wasn't run hard, so they kind of gave up on that that opportunity.
Both sides have an economy rate of around 4.1, and when I was doing a predicted score, Marcus, you wouldn't believe it, they both came out at 164. So how close? You couldn't get any closer than that.
Not at all. Looks like McCain's going to keep going. Still no cover point.
Nope.
Well, actually, as I speak, first slip's gone. He's moved out to mid-off, and they're bringing a cover point
In.
Ooh, they've gone short cover instead of cover point.
Yeah. McCain coming in to bowl. Smith watchful again.
Looking to play the ball very late, a lot of them, so
Kane to Smith. Smith once again just getting on that front foot, just punching that ball once again out through the point region. McCain starting to settle into a nice little rhythm here, not giving the South Croydon batsmen the width that they desire as he comes into bowl. And he's bowling a little bit fuller too, Marcus, which is making it difficult for them to score.
bowling this full and wide, I don't see the need for a fine leg, but
No,
but they're rolling with it, so
seems to become one of the more unfashionable positions on the ground, fine leg, as McCain comes into bowl. Smith once again looking to push that ball through the cover region, but I don't think it actually meant to go there because it ended up going somewhere through mid-on.
inside half, it nipped back a little bit, very similar to the Samit Brad dismissal, just a little bit off the seam. 90% of his balls have been outswingers, so
Oh, that was close, no. Willis on strike.
that one he definitely attempted to bowl straighter on purpose.
Yeah.
Looked like it slid down. Not a lot of movement in it, but not straight enough.
One for 29 in the 8th over as McCain comes in to bowl to Willis. Willis once again, he just held back on that shot, managed to once again glide that through the slip region, but for no run, and that's the end of the over. You change your commentary shortly. Take you through from overs 10 to 20. Be Dave Raggett and Shane Kelton. Looking forward to hearing their dulcet tones throughout the afternoon. Got a few things planned throughout too. That we'll be talking to a few sponsors and throughout the day as well.
I've just got an update from the Newey Grand Final. Mount Evelyn are batting first.
Yep.
They're 1 for 27 with the dangerous Hancock out
Yep.
for 9.
Right.
Fraser the captain not out on 12, and G Fraser on 5.
Gareth Fraser now into the attack. Yeah, Kane Jones will probably come in around number 5. He'll probably be the next one in. Good pick up there for Churnside. Hancock have been in good form all season with the ball leading into the final series as Van Cole comes into bowl to Smith. Good delivery there. He had Smith searching just a little bit there, Marcus.
Yep, they've made the change. They've taken a slip out. In this case, it's the gully from this end, and they've brought in a short cover. No balls going to short cover, so very interesting.
Van Cole into bowl to Smith yet again. Smith goes through, lovely shot, out through that wide mid-off region. Outfield a bit slow out there. On a normal day that would have gone for 4, but they only get 2 for that.
It's definitely up the hill at Montrose here, and that does look a little bit more thick in grass, a little bit more lush, and so That's two now at this end that have
Not gone for four.
Slowed up right up the top of the hill towards the scoreboard.
Van Cole in again to Smith. Smith once again, well run. That's an easy single there. The ball nearly got away from the Montrose fielder there, but no harm done, only a single. Smith moves on to 21, Benny Willis on to 7. 1 for 32 here.
And in Wilkins, Wonga Park, and none for 24 at the end of 7.
Norwood just dragging that run rate back down a little bit after a sprightly start there by Wonga Park as Van Cole comes into bowl to Willis. Willis, very watchful, right on that front foot. Lovely forward defensive position shot. First shot they ever teach in cricket in that, Marcus, the forward defence?
Not anymore. It's all about sweeps and reverse sweeps,
and
back shots and kill scoops, and they all want to play the $1 million shots first, and you've got to really kind of get them back towards the textbook cricket shots.
Van Cole in again. Oh, he's got it. That's comprehensively beaten there. He's beaten him for pace here, Marcus.
Yeah, very, very slow, very late on that ball.
Big wicket there.
Not a lot of footwork either.
No. Got caught in no man's land there, really.
Straight through bat and pad. Did not allow for any movement. And that's taken middle and off stump.
Well, whilst there's a change in the wickets, I actually reckon we might change the broadcasting team. Marcus, you and I will maybe back a little later on, but I'm going to introduce Dave Raggett and Shane Kelton to the broadcast this afternoon.
Thanks, Brash. Thanks, Marcus. Good job. Good start. Big wicket there. They were building something nicely. So 2 for 32.
In walks Michael King. Well, Shane, you got to say the two stalwarts of South Croydon are currently in there together now. Ryan Smith just when was dominating, getting on top. As we know, fall of wicket. May have to rein it in a bit just until Michael King gets himself going.
Yeah, this will be the big wicket, and they'll know. So,
what would your score be? What would you look at batting first in these conditions?
I think the way these two teams have been batting over the last few weeks, they'd be looking at 180 plus at a minimum, 200. 5 an hour over on this ground.
McCain into bowl, or it's just he's got a nice rhythm. He's got into a nice rhythm. He's got good action, nice gather, and looks predominantly to be bowling the away swing. And
he does, and the boys were talking about it earlier. He has worked hard this year to get himself up into this team, and if he comes in to bowl again to Smith. Smith walks at him straight to the point. He's really worked hard. Having spoken to a couple of the players, he really got fit this year, and as fit as they've ever seen him. So it's really good to see him reaping the rewards, and with batting at 7 and 8 and opening the bowling now.
It comes into bowl to Smith. Pushed through extra covered for 1. Ryan Smith's been using his feet well, looking to negate that swing, getting on that front foot. Plays some beautiful lofty cover drives. So here we go, as you say, big wicket coming in here. Been in great form, Michael King, a great servant to the club and a great leader.
So they're just putting the deep cover out now.
Kane's into bowl to King. Let's that one go through to the keeper.
I think their aim here would be to try and get through to drinks with these two. They've got some good lower order batsmen who can go, but if we sort of find them at 3-4 down after 10, could be in trouble.
Kane into bowl to King. The other one just lets that one go through to the keeper. Yeah, it's you know, as we spoke about before we come on, wickets in hand is the key, isn't it? That last 10 overs, you've got wickets in hand. If you're only sort of 3 down with 10 overs to go, you can launch, possibly get 8 and over. So if you're scoring at 4 and over for the 30, and then you're looking at 200, but easier said than done. As Kane comes into bowl, foolish ball. Oh, he pushes that through. It's a bit off. 2 for 33 after 10 overs.
Smith on 21 and Michael King on gets a score. Around the grounds, Wonga Park, none for 26 off 8.1. And just for anyone, Montrose fans watching the broadcast, Ainsley Park, second 11, none for 38 to Montrose.
And we mentioned it on the radio, I don't know if you listened, Shane, how good a season Montrose Cricket Club have had. They've already got 2 premierships in the bag. Their 1s and 2s are playing in grand finals today.
And yeah, the other 2 teams lost in semi-finals and
Yeah.
could have easily been much bigger. So I'm sure the crowd from Montrose will build up as the day progresses. So
as Van Cole comes into Smith. Oh, it hits something. It's probably
thigh pad.
Thigh pad, yeah.
Nice take from Perkins down the leg side.
Yeah.
Watching the replay now. Yeah, thigh pad, but very good
Great
take.
yeah.
Probably saved 2. Just feel the screws are starting to be tightened a little bit here, so Van Cole into Smith, walks down the wicket, and
That's 4.
that's going to be 4.
4 runs. Leg
Off
bias.
leg bias. Smith looked to the umpire, he wanted that on the score sheet.
Yeah, a little tickle still.
There's a bit of talk here out with the batsman and the bowler here too. Shane Van Cole doesn't mind a bit of chat. Anyone that's played against him?
No, I've not had the pleasure, but nothing wrong with a bit of fight. That one go through to the keeper. These 2 sides only played each other once during the season. The other game was that week that we had off due to COVID, and Montrose won that game. Round 3, I think it was, all the way back in round 3. They've been consistent, and they Montrose all year. They lost that 1 game to North Ringwood. As Van Cole comes into bowl. That is a big wicket.
Huge wicket there.
And you let him know about it as well. In the context of any game, to get Ryan Smith out, oh, that has swung. That has swung in.
Very, very nice delivery there.
That has swung in a long way. He might have got a little tickle onto his. Yeah, that's a big wicket.
Huge wicket there. 3 down. 3 for 37 now. Joel Merritt will be the incoming batsman. So, proven run scorer at this grade, so needs to stand up today.
Yeah, he was just when he was looking on to get on top, Ryan Smith. I mean, the loss of Willis, then probably you rein it in a bit, and that. I mean, we looked at the replay, and that looked like it swung in a long way. Even the shot that he looked like he was playing, the way he shaped up to put that through the covers, it swung late out of hand, but it did swing in.
Yeah, top of off stump. Some things never change in cricket. Hit the top of off
Yep.
consistently, and you'll get wickets. So huge wicket for Van Cole there. He really wanted that one, and you could see that by the way he reacted after the wicket. So
And just while I'm at it, it's not too late to get your ticket for the RDCA Centenary Dinner, which is on the 26th of March at the Dorset Gardens Hotel. They're looking to sell another 20 tickets and there'll be a full house, so don't miss the opportunity to grab last table or 2 And you can email Joe, does a great job at marketing@rdca.com to secure your spot. Jump on board. Getting up a nice head of steam there, Van Cole. Amazing what a wicket does.
It is. It's amazing what a wicket does, especially the one of Smith. So I think what Montrose also have in their favour is they do have a great array of bowlers to follow this. So
yeah,
you know what I've seen all year is they've chopped and changed. As Van Cole comes in, straight delivery,
it's a nice shot.
and
it's a lovely shot.
Great shot, poke back, and that's going to go for 4. It's an excellent shot, second ball.
It's a beautiful shot
on drive. But you could see what the bowler was trying to do there. He was going for the wicket. And Montrose second 11 got their first wicket. Young Bailey O'Neill getting out Sear in Fainsley Park, 1 for 40.
That's a big wicket. He's been going well.
He can take the game away from him very quickly as well. So I think that's the other added benefit Montrose have had all the year. They've got Bailey O'Neill, Oscar McCallum, who have both played 4 or 5 first 11 games. Both under 18s. Storm out there is playing out there today. Great young kids. So they've had a lot of good young kids get great experience this year, and it's going to set them up for the next 5 to 10 years to come.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because we were talking to Michael King on the radio today. We looked at South Croydon. I think they only used 14 players all year, which is good. You can go into the season to the games with a settled team, which also means that you're playing pretty well.
New bowler Justin Perkins, quick single.
Yeah, well judged.
Very well judged. So Perkins onto bowl. It's been a good, consistent all-rounder this year for Montrose. 13 wickets, an average of 19.38, best of 4 for 20. And with the bat, 121 runs at 30. Gets a lot of not outs towards the end. I know he went away for 1 week and had to, play a couple games in the 2s. That was how well they were going. So what he'll do is just try and bowl consistent lines, change his pace, bowls lots of cutters.
So it was a good opening spell by McCain with 6 overs. Held him back for another 2 a bit later on. As he comes into bowl, and Joel Merritt just let that one go through the keeper. What this does do, I'd say as well, Shane, is when you get especially as we keep saying, the key wicket of Ryan Smith, then it gives the captain more control over his bowling changes, I'd say. Lets that one go through the keeper. Matt Whitaker's probably now got more control, as in, he can try a few different things. I'm not saying you're experimenting, but, whereas if you're trying to get key wickets out, you maybe tend to overbowl the bowlers trying to get that, but with must say with Montrose's bowling line up, they've got wicket takers all the way through.
Yeah. Perkins into bowl. On the front foot driving, 1 all.
Single,
nice single in the end. Whitaker will be pretty disappointed there though. But if that's, they're the tight singles they've got to take, it shows Montrose are right on top in this game. As you say, Perkins on now, 4th bowler. You've still got Demetrio to come on as well, who's been proven at this grade for a long time. And you've also got Jake Crowe, who hasn't, bowled much over the last couple of years, and come back this year with 16 wickets, at close to 13 or 14. So really handy options to have. 6 quality bowlers who, will do the job. So I guess the question South Croydon have got to ask is, how do we go about this? Whitaker with 5 overs to go at the back end.
Yeah. Got a lot of options up his sleeve. You must say that Montrose are in control at the minute, but games can change. Shane Van Cole into ball. There's definitely movement out there. I'd say all 3 wickets, Celts, have been down to the ball moving, which you know, just by looking at some of the shots that they were played, they are getting movement out there. Good conditions to bowl, must be said. Into bowl, is it a bit full of length? It's conducive for pitching the ball up, which is what's key here. I mean, Van Cole into bowl. He looks held that one back a bit. Still the same line and length, full of ball. Just varying up his pace nicely.
Pretty nice strike there. Merritt looks good early.
Yep.
I'm sure in the grand final there's a few nerves, but he's not showing it. He looks pretty calm out there. Hit the middle of the bat a couple of times. Montrose bowling really well, so
he's into bowl. Full of ball. Yeah.
Slightly mistimed that one. But it looks like we have a wicket over in Wilkins.
Yeah.
Looks like it'll be 1 for 30 now. Baker with the wicket. Be 1 for 6 off 5.1 for Baker.
Wow, it's good figures.
Excellent figures.
Van Cole comes into bowl. Bit shorter, and Joel Merritt plays a lovely back with a point. Is it going to roll for? No, well fielded. 2 runs. 2 runs to Joel Merritt. So we had the one slip, whitish third man from our angle. Got the one out on the cover side. And a squarish type fine leg. And then Wingfield. Mid off back a bit. James Van Cole into ball, full of ball.
Bowling really well here.
Yeah.
Excellent spell in the grand final, big game. Set up well by the opening spell from Matty McCain though.
Slight breaking play here. Just a shout out to Paul Atfield and Saxon Sports for all the great work, sponsorship that he does for the RDCA. And coming to bowl, and Michael King just lets that one go through, watching very astutely. He knows how keys he needs to bat through.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience, played in Premier Cricket grand finals, and he'll know his role today is to see it as long as he can. And he knows he can catch up at the end. He knows he's got some players who can catch up as well. Perkins in the bowl, outside off. I do like the ploy here if bowling outside is off and forcing him to leave and racking up some dot balls, creating a bit of pressure at the other end.
Yep.
Perkins into bowl.
Shoulder that one. But yeah, it's key, isn't it? It's as we know, one day, especially 40 over cricket, dot balls are priceless really. Just builds the pressure. You know, it's not so much how many wickets you get, the strike rates of your wickets, the ball is that economy rate, and that's what gets wickets, pressure, scoreboard pressure. Yeah.
Just putting it outside off, letting it go. I don't think Michael will feel the pressure maybe as much as the batsman at the other end. Sometimes the batsman feels in control at one end, leaving, and the other batsman feels he has to go. So Merritt can be quite a attacking player.
Yeah.
Perkins into bowl, and
that would have been out.
And Perkins is again. Kieran missed one in the first 10 overs and Justin missed one here, and they don't miss often. So probably two.
They've given that one up. Yeah.
Just felt Justin slipped at the crucial moment of that throw there. But that's pressure. That's cricket right there. Looks like Demetrio was warming up there as well, so we might see another bowling change soon. Perkins into bowl. Just wide.
Yeah. Building some pressure here, you feel, as you said, with that near run out. Dot balls, they're just concentrating on bowling full and wide. Yeah, another one. He has the security of a fine leg if he does straighten, but they're sticking to their plans well here.
They are bowling very well, and I think they've been well drilled all year. Matt Whitaker coming in this year to coach and from Premier Cricket, he's got them very well drilled, and from all reports, the players themselves are loving that.
Yeah.
Loving the professionalism he's brought back to the club, and if they didn't, they wouldn't be having the results they've had this year across the club. So it's clear it's working for them as a club. And
yeah, we watched the warm-up before the game, and I wouldn't say strenuous, but yeah, it really puts them through their paces. I think I've done a hamstring just watching them. Shane Van Cole in again.
Just straying down on the leg side there.
As said, the conditions are pretty conducive to swing bowling. This thought we was going to have a bit more sun, but there's a bit more cloud cover, although it's pretty high.
And Van Cole into bowl to Merritt. Yeah, nice forward defensive stroke there, straight back to the bowler. There was a bit of wind around earlier in the first 10 overs. That seemed to have eased off a little bit. So if South Croydon can get through in their sort of next 6 to 10 overs with these two at the crease, then they still can catch up at the end.
Yeah.
Van Cole to Merritt. Oh yeah, nice movement.
Yeah.
As I said, we've got the benefit of the camera crew here. We're standing side on, but we get a good angle of that, and he's definitely bringing the ball back in.
Yeah, thank you once again to LKLM Media that bring you the live stream and great shots. Lee and his team doing a fantastic job. Shane Van Cole's into bowl to Merritt. Yeah, just let that one go through. Got into a real lovely rhythm here, Shane Van Cole. I see he didn't play the last game. Not sure if he was carrying an injury or anything, but definitely got his team up and about here. 3:46 into the 16th over. Into Baltimore. Just shoulder, that's pulled away lovely. That's 4 runs. He wasn't overly short, but short enough, and he got onto the rock back and got onto that one pretty quickly, did Joel Merritt. As said, Kelts, he's looking in good form.
He is. He started really well here. He's played the defensive stroke. He's played a great on drive, which has probably been the shot of the day so far, and he's picked up that one that wasn't too short pretty quickly, put it through the gap for 4. So Merritt moves to 11, and just trying to bring back a little bit more for South Croydon here. Van Cole comes into bowl again to Merritt. Nice shot out to deep cover for 1.
Cover out there. That's the 50 up. 3 for 51 actually after 16 overs. Trying to wrestle back a bit of momentum here, South Croydon, after Montrose got off to a really good start, picking up 3 wickets in the first 16 overs. And yet again saying it that the vital wicket of Ryan Smith too. Perkins continue. A Bit of a breeze into him. Beautiful ground, this Celts. Fantastic backdrop.
Oh, amazing. Amazing to watch the cricket and look up the Dandenongs. Perkins played it nice and late there, Merritt. Perkins has started well here as well, just taken over from Matt McCain. Ainsley Park, second 11, 1 for 48 versus Montrose after 13 and a half overs. Perkins into bowl.
Yeah, looking good. Looking good, looks nice and solid. As we've seen from the 3 wickets that have fallen, you've got to cover this swinging ball.
Perkins into bowl to Merritt and outside off,
Yeah.
well left. Even that, look, very positive leave.
Yep.
Seems very set in what he wants. Perkins into bowl again to Merritt. Oh, nice length.
Just held that one back.
Perkins does have the ability to really change his pace, get the ball to go both ways. Very smart bowler, a lot of indoor cricket experience, and uses that each and every Saturday with the bat and ball.
That's a good shot. That's a lovely shot. I mean, it was uppish, but it was dead straight, so there's no fielder there.
Yeah, he definitely meant to put that over the top, and very safe shot. Picked up the length nicely and went through with it. So another confident stroke, moves Merritt to 16.
Yeah, he's
wouldn't be too disheartened though, Montrose here, even though there's a couple of bounds in the last couple of overs.
Yeah.
Perkins into bowl. Bit quicker that one through the air.
End of the over, 17 gone, 3 for 56. Sorry, 3 for 55.
Van Cole on again. So Wonga Park in Wilkins, 1 for 37 in the 14th over. So really, a nice start to the game of cricket there. Both teams in it. Van Colin is starting a sixth over at 2 for 18, coming into King. We might get a good look at the replay here, hopefully. Oh no, we just get the disgruntled bowler. Disbelief.
Is he lining them up for the next appeal? Right, looks like I got right on the toe.
Yeah. Van Colin to bowl to King. Nice stride out. Positive leave.
Yeah. Shane, what's your thoughts on, I mean, when you see like the crowd here, and as Montrose have got another side in finals, having the Trollope Shield standalone game?
I like the idea. I think showcase the best game across our competition. Or big slash, wide slash.
Similar to what they do with the EFL.
Yeah, I think you would find a much bigger crowd with Montrose second 11 would all be here. Yeah. There's another 20 odd players, and then they've got family and supporters at that game. As Van Cole comes into bowl to King again. Another positive step forward.
He would have been in these positions quite a few times, Michael King. He knows the game's not won here, but it can be lost here.
It can be lost here. So nice.
Good length, that. Solid defence. This is a good battle, these two.
It is a really good battle. Van Cole's clearly on to get another wicket here. They're sensing if they can get one of these two, it really sets him up for the next 20. So I feel like whether he bowls this one and saves 2 for end, or he might try and bowl out and get another one before drinks. Or played very late.
Yeah. I reckon it might come in a bit the way he adjusted.
Just for one down to third man.
That's 18 gone. 356 is 357. So how many is that Van Cole's bowled?
That's 6 now.
6 now, so
Demetrio is warming up, so they might keep Van Cole. Just noticing throughout the year, they have a lot of times Montrose had overs to spare off nearly every bowler.
Yeah.
So I think Whittaker likes to make sure they've got options for the back end. It also doesn't allow South Croydon to target a bowler.
No, that's right. Perkins in to Michael King. Going across that front pad.
Change of pace again.
So if this looks like these, so probably Demetrio is going to take over the next over, you'd say, which is pretty good because he's like 1 over before drinks, gets him to get into his rhythm.
Yeah.
As in, not to gives him time to settle. Nice shot. Straight to short cover, and then that would save Shane Van Cole 2 overs. So yeah, I like that.
Demetrio does have some fond memories of this ground. Won a premiership for Moolbark 10 or 11 years ago on this ground versus North Ringwood. He got hit around, but he got the big wicket of Gareth Taylor, as he loves to mention every now and then. Oh, that's a fantastic shot. And that's 6.
Up here,
that's up. Bang!
Dive fresh. Great shot.
Fantastic shot. Hit the railing up on the stand.
You didn't see it on the camera here, but Wayne Brasher dived full length there and nearly caught it an inch off the ground as he gets himself off the ground. Great effort, Brash.
Has Perkins in to bounce back, change of pace. It's just been flicked around to the leg side. I think that's the ability of Michael King, though. He was two off close to 20 balls, and gets that loose one on the leg stump and can put it away. And that's what the best players in the competition do.
Yeah, you're dead right. Sign of a good player to pick up the loose ball. He's saying loose ball is just a full ball down leg and flicked up nicely.
Perkins and outside off.
The wind picks up a bit again as Perkins comes into bowl. Joel Merritt facing up.
Ooh. Yeah, it's on the back foot drive.
Good over for South Croydon. 19 gone.
These two have been building nicely now, so your partnership.
Is that 19 gone? Or no, 19. This is the 19th, must be then.
Yeah, this will be the 19th over.
Sorry, yeah, 19th.
Partnership of 26, so 3 for 37 to 3 for 63. So really starting to build nicely. Joel Merritt going at 60 strike rate, so bowling change of Van Cole off and Demetrio on. So yeah, really good spell. 2 wickets. We are blessed to be here at Montrose. It really is a club going well on and off the field. Damien Ford, running the place really smoothly at the moment, and
had a good chat again with Damien on the radio today. He's the current holder, being the smart dressed man as a radio guest from last year, 2 years ago.
Demetrio Bowles, King.
He rocked up in his suit for when we had him on the show last time. But there's no award this year, Shane, because phone-in guests, we don't know what they've been wearing. Just shorts and singlet and thongs, and we've had a spill here. It's picked up. Full ball.
It's a nice stroke out to deep cover. The wind has picked up, and there was a lovely catch of the TV screen by Marcus Adams.
Yes.
So, I hope he's been catching that well all year, because the boys will be disappointed if he hasn't. Dropped 4 in the last game. Okay, so he can catch a TV, he can't catch a cricket ball. So Demetrio's season, 13 wickets at 20, best of 2 for 13, economy rate 3.78. So consistent year without doing a lot of damage.
Doing enough, yeah. I mean, the good bowlers are to have. We can bring him on in the 19th over.
He is. He's opened the bowling for many years in this competition. So he's a very experienced bowler who will be looking to get this wicket as he comes into merit. It's just that bowler gets onto you a little bit quicker.
Yeah, ambles up, quick arm.
He's very quick arm action.
Don in the ponytail.
Yeah, let's not talk about his haircut. He's run some shockers over the last couple of years, and
his arm comes out quick.
Tight run. Just a slight fumble, but been a couple of those today. I think they've run them really well so far. But Joel Merritt, hasn't had the best year. 184 runs at 13, high score of 38. So he will be looking to go big today. A player with that much experience. There's Demetrio into King. King, big stride forward and just puts it to the leg side for 1 run. So another nice over from South Croydon, building here.
19 gone, 3 for 66.
We go to, we are blessed with it. We've got a couple of iPads up here as well. So watching Ainsley Park, Montrose, second 11. Ainsley Park 2 for 53 off 18.4. Sonsini onto bowl now there. So 2 new batsmen. So the openers are both out. I think this just shows with Sonsini playing in the 2s, he's won a first 11 premiership at Montrose. So lots of experience.
Perkins. Markins letting that one go through the keeper. Over before drinks. Yeah, it's good setup we got here. We've got the laptop, we've got 2 iPads, we've got the big screen. All we need is a bit of maths, a bit of Married at First Sight, and we're well away.
And that's a nice flick. Not as well timed, but that's going to bounce away
4 runs.
3 bounces.
That was a bit not as full as the first one that he hit for 6, so he just stretched a little bit for that, but still got enough on it. And
relatively safe shot.
Yeah. He knows
little
where
risk.
the field is.
Little risk for that with 3 on the leg side. Fine leg. He just needs to chip it over, and it probably runs away down that hill. It's a hill you don't like running, chasing after a ball, because the ball just keeps going.
Runs away from you.
Missed down leg side wide. So building really nicely before drinks. So Montrose wouldn't mind probably just having that break now.
Yeah, they've rested a bit of the momentum back, South Croydon. Still lost 3 wickets, but evenly poised, you'd say.
Nice delivery. King playing out in front of his pad there.
Well, Shane, you're sitting with us. You nearly got into the granny yourself. Nearly pulled your side across the line. Runs, wickets.
Yeah, it was a tough day. I've spoken to a lot of people watching the game as Perkins comes into bowl to King. And that's big again. That's 6 into the car park and just misses the incoming car.
That's fantastic.
That's
shot.
a great
to
cricket
play
shot.
that shot 2 balls before drinks.
Yeah.
Normally, us mere mortals will be thinking, right, don't get out, don't get out, don't get out. Michael King.
He sweats on the loose one.
Hit a six.
Yeah, fantastic shot. We saw Perkins walk back, just sort of having a laugh and understanding that, there probably was a little bit of risk there. It looked like it maybe was on the stumps, but someone of King's calibre.
I just saw Shane Van Cole just looked like he went up to Michael King and probably said, "Good shot, Michael."
Those words may have come out. So as Perkins comes in to the bowl to King again and pushes out, drop ball. So 1 ball before drinks. So if King can get through here, it's they've really fought back well after being 3 for 36. So partnership of 40. In around
Decent
12.
time.
10 to 12 overs. You'd be pretty happy with this fight back here, and Merritt and King going along nicely as Perkins comes into bowl, and that's a wide. Last week it was a weekend for close finishes. As Wonga Park East Ringwood was a thriller as well. We nearly had the same thing. We had Mount Evelyn second 11 8 for 140, and the number 9 and 10 rode their luck. A few drop catches and took the score to 209. 1 to tie, which got them over the line as Perkins comes into bowl. A nice stroke, straight drive for 1, fielded by McCain. And we got the run out with 1 run to go, and we thought, can we do it? And no, they put one over the top for 2. So unfortunately,
great effort though.
Got done, but in the end, Mount Evelyn and Wonga Park's second 11s have been the best 2 teams all year.
Okay, there they are. Drinks break now. 20 overs gone. 3 for 79. Montrose had the best of the first 10 overs, you'd say, and then South Croydon pulled it back nicely. Evenly poised, one would say. We're going to hand you over now. Shane's going to stay in the hot seat, and Wayne Brasher will be joining you.
Thank you, Dave Raggett. Afternoon, Shane Kelton.
Afternoon, Brush.
How are you, mate? Good to have you on the broadcast.
It's good to be here. I mean, how lucky am I? I'm watching 3 games of cricket at once.
Don't get to do that too often, do you?
No, it's very rarely one at home these days.
Interesting. First 20 overs here. First 10 overs belonged to Montrose, I felt, but the second 10 belonged to South Croydon. And you've got to admire a guy like Zippy King, right? He can slot into that role where he plays support, but then automatically can switch into mode where he becomes the aggressor and allows the other batsmen around him to develop throughout an innings, isn't it? Yeah,
it's fantastic to watch. He was 2 off 20 balls, and his last 8 balls have gone for 20 runs, and that's before drinks. So it shows the class of who he is, and he'll look to stand up and help Joel as well, who's been out of form this season.
Yeah, Joel. He's played in his 17 though. Joel, he's played some nice shots in that 17. And I think Michael King's dragging him along a bit in the fact that I think he's given him some confidence along the way.
Yeah, without a doubt, they're batting in a nice partnership. Joel started really well while King left early, and the sort of roles have been reversed in the last 3 overs there. So both got a nice start, and South Croydon will definitely be looking for one of these batsmen to go on and get an 80 plus today.
We're probably heading into a real crucial 10 overs, Shane, because sometimes the game can get away from a side, and on the other hand, the bowling side can actually put the brakes on. The way Michael King's batting at the moment, he's not only it's controlling aggression with him. He just seems to have that innate ability to pick the right ball to hit at the right time.
Yeah, and he's put the pressure back on the fielding team here, and I'll be interested to see whether Whittaker goes with 3 or 4 out after the break.
Yeah.
You can have 4 out now in the 21st to 30th over, so whether he uses that, or whether he wants to try and get this wicket, because crucial wicket here, risk versus reward. So
yeah, well, as they say in life, with great risk comes great reward. Unfortunately, haven't had a chance till now to have a chat to you, but you probably had your own best game last week against Wonga Park Mount Evelyn in the semi-final, mate. Just a bit stiff not to get over the line.
Yeah, we were a bit stiff, but you replay every game over in your head when you lose like that many times, and there was just so many little instances which could have been changed both ways, and both teams. I didn't bat that well. Somehow got to 50. I was dropped 3 times. So
don't matter, mate. You got 50. We have a score here from Newey Plate, and at Mount Evelyn, a 4 for 79 at the moment. And Kane Jones, the key wicket here, was out for 5. So Churnside have really dug in here and have really taken the upper hand here.
That'll be a big win for Churnside. They haven't really gone too well over the last couple of years, so to come back this year, they picked up really well in the off-season, and from all reports are going well as a club. So huge game for that, and Mount Evelyn coming across from the Yarra Valley will really want to jump up.
Dan Demetrio has been a great has really been a good support this year as he comes into bowl once again to Michael King, looking to push the ball through that late region, slip region. No run, but he's had a good season. Danny's been able to... He's taken 13 wickets at 19.46, economy rate of 3.78, been a really good backup bowler. Shane, as King drives the ball down through the mid-off region for him for an easy single.
Yeah, and they have put the 4 fielders out now for King. They're a deep mid-off and a deep cover there, so I think they're going to try and ultimately look to give King the singles and maybe try and tie up Merritt from the other end. Yeah,
thing is, it just can't afford to be bowling that bad ball on his legs because he's going to put him over the fence.
He is.
Demetrio into bowl to Joel Merritt, who's on 17. Merritt pushing forward. One of the things I've noticed with the South Croydon batsmen this afternoon, Shane, is they're trying to break the length of the Montrose bowlers by batting out of their crease, a couple of strides down. They're trying to throw the Montrose bowling off their line and length. Demetrio coming into bowl, Merritt driving. That's a lovely shot.
That's another great on drive there. He's played that shot really early in his innings. It was slightly uppishly played, but the field is relatively deep there. He just got past the gap and the ball runs away for 4.
One of the hardest shots to really master the on drive, Shane. You're starting to hit form when you're hitting the ball that well through that region, isn't it?
And I think him playing that, really early on in his innings has really set him up here. And you do, when you hit that first one through the on drive, you do start to feel really good about your batting, and you feel like you're timing the ball well. So, his second one now, he's played another couple of lovely shots. So as he moves to 21, they move the fielder back deep now as well.
As Demetrio comes into bowl to Merritt again, Merritt looking to push that ball through the mid-wicket region. No run. I mean, I said earlier on in the broadcast, Shane, I have a non-negotiable that 160 is the score that you've got to at least look at in this grade, and I think that's going to be the case this afternoon as Demetrio comes into bowl. Merritt drives on the up again, but this once again pushes it down through that mid-on region for another single. 160's got to be the base score. Anything above that is a bonus for me.
Yeah, I tend to think maybe a little bit higher with these two teams on this ground.
Yeah.
But if you get under 160, I don't think there's you need a bowler to bowl out of his skin.
So what would you reckon? Would you reckon 180?
Yeah, I think 180 is going to be minimum today. With Montrose depth especially.
Yeah, I can't see, for as well as South Croydon are going with the ball, I'd find that hard for them unless they got early wickets to defend anything less than 160 or even 180. But as you well know, cricket's just such a funny game.
It is, and grand final runs are grand final runs. So I've seen, we've seen all kinds of things happen in grand finals. So right across the competition over the last few years. So
Jacob Crow coming into bowl, first time in the match. Jake Crow, he's Had a good season with the ball, 16 wickets, 13.75. Best individual performance for a Montrose player in this season, 4 for 22, economy rate of 3.1, which at this level is excellent. Comes into bowl.
Well, does it hit the field? No. Barney pulls it back, 2 runs.
It actually looked like it was getting away from him there for a minute, didn't it?
It was, and I think any Montrose player would go, I've got to get around to this quick, because if it gets past me, it's gone. So
yep.
He's done well to pull that back there and ultimately save 2 runs. So
Crow into bowl once again to Merritt. Merritt once again just off that back foot there, just punching that ball out through the mid-off extra cover region.
I think what Crow will try and do here is he comes in again and breaks my call. As he comes in, is a nice single to dead covers. He tries to get through his overs reasonably quickly.
Yep.
So they may get 3 or 4 singles and over, but all of a sudden they're at the 30 over mark. So
yeah, it's the tempo that the bowler wants to change a little bit, not let the batsman dictate the pace of the game. The bowler needs to sometimes sort of, in a little way, hurry him up, isn't it?
Yep. So, and King's here waiting as moving the field around. They've got a deep square leg, deep mid on, deep mid off, and deep cover. So they've got the 4 out, short fine leg and short third man on the ring.
Crow into bowl. King once again looking to push that ball. There could be a single here. Yeah, there was.
Oh, and a bad throw, but well backed up in the end. So you just feel like the game's slightly turning here a little bit. Just building a nice partnership.
Yeah, it is. It is turning into a nice partnership, and I reckon the game at this particular is really delicately poised here. Really delicately poised as Crow comes into bowl to Merritt. Merritt once again, that's a lovely shot once again through the mid-off region, only for a single. But he seems to be gaining confidence with every shot he plays here. He
does. It's 5 off this over with 1 ball to spare, so if they can go at 4 or 5 and over for the next 8 overs, it really does set them up to catapult towards the end. As the wind picks up, Crow comes into bowl. Oh, nice delivery there.
I actually reckon, for me, Shane, watching so many games at the end of the over, I actually reckon a perfect score for a T20, a 40 over game, it's a 3 for about 140 at the 30 over mark. You got 7 wickets in hand, you've got 10 overs to go, and you can push that. If you can go at 7 or 8 or over, you're going to get over 200.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So 3 for 90 after this will be the 23rd over.
Yep.
So 18 overs from here. If they can, in the next 8 overs, got 4 or 5 and over, gets them to 130, 140, and
pick off the odd bad ball for a boundary, but keep those singles churning over. Demetrio comes into bowl to Merritt. Merritt just once again pushing the ball back down the pitch. No run.
And Ainsley Park to second 11, 2 for 62 after 20 overs at drinks.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad score.
Yeah, not a bad score. Ainsley Park. Straight to short square leg.
So there's about 3.1 and over there. That's not bad going.
Yeah.
Ainsley ground's traditionally slow, so mightn't be a bad score. They probably need. They can get 140. They'll be right in the contest. There's Demetrio. Comes into bowl once again to Merritt, who just gets on that book foot and just tries to guide the ball down through the slip gully region. No run.
And Wonga Park 2 for 48 after 20 against Norwood. Jake Ford and Jake Wigney in now.
Yeah, I think they're going to need a big innings from Wigney this afternoon with the loss of Benny Osborne. Wigney started to hit a little bit of form for Wonga heading into the final series with 27, and I think he got a 70, and he scored well in a final, starting to do it with the ball as well. Demetrio coming into bowl to Merritt. Merritt watchful again, just pushing that ball out through the point region for no run. Good bowling here by Demetrio, no width.
Yeah, looks like he just tightened him up a little bit there. He wanted to try and feed the ball through the gap through slips, but nice tight bowling. Demetrio comes in again. Wide outside off, straight to point.
Matty Whitaker would have been very happy with that over.
So nice over there by Demetrio. Crow back on for another over. Score 3 for 90 after 23. Partnership of 53 as Crow comes into bowl to King. King drives straight back to Crow. Crow comes into King, flicked off the legs to short. Fine leg for a single.
Bit windy out here too, Shane.
It is. We keep getting a nice big gust up on the balcony and a few of the TV flying off the edge. So if you are listening down there, be prepared to catch your TV.
Shame I didn't get that catch in either.
That was a great effort.
Oh no. Crow into bowl. Good shot once again by Merritt. Just pushing that ball down through the mid-off region. Key here is to keep that scoreboard ticking over, keep the bowling team on alert, and keep the
as I catch the TV this time.
Well done. The TV wants to go flying away.
As Crow comes into bowl, King slashes outside off. Well fielded by Perkins, but they still get the single.
Now moves on to 27 or 26 now.
Have they got 3 or something to put on there?
Yeah, we can't afford that TV to go flying. Yeah, that
might be better.
That might be better. 3 for 93 here as Crow comes into bowl to Merritt. Merritt once again just off pushing that ball through the mid-wicket region for another easy single.
It looks like there's a clear plan here to push the ones and twos, go at 4 and over, no panic, and then really propel at the end. They do have some batsmen who can go late. Obviously, Scotty Cogan's played a lot of cricket, and some of the bowlers can and do like to have a swing too. Yeah,
Glenn James can hold a bat when he wants to. Crow into bat. Bowl, I should say. King once again just pushing that ball down through the straight region there, straight drive option. Got a single out of that too. Retains the strike.
5 off the over. So
and an easy 5 at that too, if you ever want to call it easy 5 runs. 3 for 94.
King 26 and Merritt 27 and Merritt on 28. Both striking it over 60. So
nice little, like I said, there. When you look at games, Shane, it's very rare that a side's going to dominate a session, like the whole 40 overs. You're going to have times where the bowling side are going to have their moment in the sun, and then the batsman will have a small window to take an opportunity in it.
They've swung the field around here. Looks like they're going to bowl well and truly outside off stump.
Yeah.
They've gone with a 7-2 field to King.
Yeah. Michael King chopping that ball over the slip region for a single.
So you don't see that often in a one-day game, a 7-2 field.
No.
So they're bowling to a clear plan. They'd fall deep on the offside.
It's probably something that Matt Whittaker's been trying to drill into the side throughout the season, I reckon, Shane. Demetrio coming into bowl to Joel Merritt. Merritt once again.
There might be 2 there.
Yep.
Placed nicely.
Yep.
And as you see, the ball just slowly creeps away from that fielder in the in circle and finds its way to the deep. So it's I think it's Montrose will want to keep this score as low as they can, but I don't think they'll be petrified of a 200.
I'm not sure actually that Joel wanted the ball actually to go there, but it did. As Demetrio comes into bowl, that was more assertive.
That's going to be a tough one to get.
That's 4.
And it's 4 runs.
That's a lovely shot.
It's a fantastic shot. He's noted that the fielder is now straight, and he's been able to turn it, and shows he's batting extremely well, and looks very confident out there.
Well, they've already got their 6 and over, so I mean, any more runs than this is going to be a bonus for them here.
Yep, exactly right. So they've just swung a fielder onto the leg side now. So
Thing is, you can't put your fieldsmen everywhere and cover every single scoring shot. So they're going to, and kudos to the batsmen here because they're really forcing Whittaker to make, to make moves to counteract that, and taking opportunity to score in other areas of the ground. As Demetrio comes in to bowl to Merritt. Merritt once again pushing that ball down through the mid-on region for another easy single, Shane.
yeah, it's been a big over, this one, and they both look very comfortable out there. So I think very early on in your innings you can be quite nervous. Once you get to the 20-30, you start to just feel a little bit better within yourself. And as we said before, I think if one of these guys can bat close to right through,
Yep.
could be a nice total.
Does Whittaker look at maybe throwing on a spinner here just to change the momentum up a bit?
And nice quick single there, home safely. But again, they're not just going for the boundaries in the twos.
No.
That was a really good quick single. So I don't know if they'll go the spinner. I think the only spinner they've got is Josh McCallum. I don't think he's bowled too often in their first 11.
No.
So I think it's just going to be the 6 medium quicks
Yeah, all right.
that do it. So they don't have that versatility, which is probably the only thing they've been lacking all year.
No, we'll see all their
It's another single.
all the bowlers that they've used all their mainline bowlers throughout. Looking at throughout this inning so far, anyway. And that's the end of the over. 25 overs gone. Joel Merritt on 37, Michael King on 29. Scores 3 for 106 here, with 3 extras. South Croydon are building themselves into a good position here for a big assault towards the end of the season if they can hold their wickets around that 28 to 29 over and go into the final 10 overs, 3 down with maybe 130, 140. They're in the box seat here as Crow comes back into the attack. Merritt once again just pushing that out ball just out through point.
King on 29, Merritt on 37.
Yeah.
Crow comes into bowl to Merritt. Oh, on the back foot, flicking through the leg side for an easy single.
Yeah, well, Michael King, he came off 47 in the preliminary final last week. They pushed Willis up the batting line up last week and gave Joel Merritt a rest. I don't think he had to bat last week, so I think that was a good thing for South Croydon. There's a chance here. That's gone. He's caught.
That's a huge wicket
That
there.
is a massive wicket. Michael King has skied that ball. He's mistimed it trying to hit the ball down through cow corner.
Yeah, he really wanted that one.
The ball just come on a little fast, I reckon. And that's a big key wicket.
Yeah, that's a huge wicket now. It's the pressure falls back onto Merritt.
Yep. So Michael King caught by, I think, Dan Demetrio. Bowled Jake Crow for 29. The score is 3 for 1, 4 now for 107. And we're in the 25th over, or 26th over.
It was a nice partnership starting to build. They did really build a partnership of 69. So set a little platform. They would have liked King or Frost or Smith to be out there at this point of the game, but Merritt is going nicely. So
I have a feeling this is Tyson Lacey into the Tommy Wynn. Sorry, he's come to the crease, and Tommy Wynn 176 runs this year, an average of 16, high score of 46, strike rate of 67. If he could get a 46 here, it'd be real handy for his side.
it would be. So just got to get himself in.
Yeah,
The field is going to be spread, so he's got to look for those singles.
Yeah, that's a key thing when a new batsman comes to the crease. You can't afford to get bogged down. You've got to keep looking for those singles. That wicket come at a real crucial time because Michael King and Joel Merritt were threatening to take the innings to and it still could happen, but with Michael King out of the attack, that's a big blow for Montrose. Or that's a... You can see all of a sudden that once again, new batsman to the crease. Pressure slowly starts to build.
So we watched the replay, probably not get a great angle of it.
No.
Yeah, too high.
Too high. Was going down a bit leg too, I thought.
May have just pitched outside, so... But first ball, always go up.
You don't want to be getting them too often. Crow into bowl to Tommy Wynn.
Oh, that one looks closer. And that one's
He's
out.
gone.
That's a huge wicket. 2 and an over.
Yep.
And they're pumped here.
That's a massive over here by Jake Crow. Tommy Wynn out without scoring. Now 5 for 107.
And on the replay, that was plumb.
Yep.
That's as simple as that. So, great bowling. He went for the wicket. Excellent over. 2 wickets in 3 balls. And it's going to be huge.
Scotty Cogan, the man of all hours, comes to the crease. Side needs him to play his way. That's the way Scotty Cogan is coming at many situations like this, Shane. And, he certainly can turn the game. You know, Scotty, he's played all the matches this year, 143 runs. I thought he'd score more than that. He's got an average of 21, 29 not out. This is his highest score this year with a strike rate of 76. So they're going to really need him now to start pushing the run rate up a little bit more. Montrose have put themselves right back into this contest here. Right into the contest.
And it's that man Crow. He's been fantastic for them all year.
Yep.
He'll open the batting today.
Yep.
And this will be this nice confidence booster as he goes out to bat as well.
Yep.
So 2 weeks in this over.
Well, as Michael King says, Cogan will look to start scoring off the very first ball that he faced, but he doesn't on this occasion. and sees the over out. Big over there for Montrose. A big over. Saw the loss of wickets of King and Wynn, and now sit at 5 for 107 off 26 overs.
Yeah, huge over from Crow there. And they're going to go for the attack here. Whittaker going to bring himself back on.
Yeah, probably a good move.
I think it's a great move with 5 overs up his sleeve. You get a couple out now, or you get a couple of wickets.
Yeah.
They've got the bowlers who can bowl at the end. Perkins, Demetrio, McCain, Van Cole, all got overs left. So, going for the wicket here, you'd probably think he might even throw a slipper or gully in when Cogan gets on strike.
Yeah.
Field spread for...
Merritt remains the key man here at the crease. One would feel he's going to have to carry his bat all the way through here. Shane?
Yeah, he's batted really well, so you don't want him to change anything too
much.
No,
he's just got to keep playing his game. He's just got to do that. Whittaker back into the attack.
Going around the wicket.
Yep.
Clear plan. Just place that outside off stump.
Yep.
Nicely driven through the covers for 1.
Interesting little contest coming up here because you got an aggressive bowler like Whittaker and a batsman with an aggressive mindset of Scotty Cogan. Could be some fireworks here. As Whittaker comes in to bowl to Cogan, full.
He went after that.
Yeah, he did go after it.
A metre either side of him there, and it's probably 4. So.
Yeah. It's quite breezy this afternoon. Good crowd too.
It is. The crowd's building. Every time I look up, there's another set of people here. So.
I'm glad I parked away from the ground. Could be a stampede to get out tonight.
There could be a fair few cars still left here tomorrow, I'd say.
Yeah. Whittaker comes in the bowl.
Looks like that rushed him slightly.
Yes. All of a sudden the Montrose bowling's found a little bit more spring in the step here, Shane.
It has. The wind's picked up as well, so he's bowling with that wind here, Whittaker.
Considering the season we've had, it'll be good to have a really close grand final just to top off the season that we've had as Whittaker comes in. That's a nice shot by Kogan.
And Crow gets around and 4 runs.
That's a lovely shot by Kogan.
Yeah, great shot. Down that hill, ran away. Crow thought he had it early. It just kept going. So, yeah, lovely shot. He's obviously going to go after those wide full ones and, you know, not a huge lot of risk in that shot.
He was probably looking for that shot a couple of balls earlier too. That just, you know, that he hit to the fieldsman. As Whittaker comes in to bowl once again to Kogan. Kogan just on that front foot. Well defended there. That's the end of the over. 27 gone. Score's now 5 for 112 with Joel Merritt 39. Scott Kogan on 4 with 3 extras.
Go around the grounds. Wonga Park 2 for 71 off 25 overs. Sam Story brought himself on to bowl an over, which is, you know, doesn't happen too often.
No.
Jackson Ford 16 off 46. Jake Whitney 9 off 24. So they're building.
As Crow comes in to bowl, that's a. Tell you what, he's troubling the batsman here, Crow. He's getting some late swing, I reckon. What else have we got there, Shane?
Mount Evelyn 6 for 100 with their top 6 out, so they've started to get into the bowlers now. 6 for 100. It looks like the wickets are shared. 2 to Lehman, 1 to Roth, 1 to Captain Kostick, and 1 to Spencer. So, how many overs there, Marcus? 29 overs gone. So
that's good there for Churnside. They're in the box seat there.
Yeah, man, they have small pocket ground there, so only need one batsman to sort of get away. And in saying that, Mount Evelyn have got some batsmen down the lower order who can do that as well.
Crow comes into the attack. Merritt once again just pushing that ball down through the mid-on region for an easy single.
And after those 2 wickets, it's just going to be a nice little building period here. I think they've got to try and get through the next 5 overs, even if it goes 4 and over.
Yeah. Crow in again. Kogan just pushing that ball down.
What the wickets probably do is they can't afford to go from the 30th. It's probably the 33rd, 34th where they start to attack a bit more.
Crow in to get.
Oh, that looks out.
Oh no.
And it could.
Leg buys.
It's going to run away. The 2 leg buys. We'll get the replay here.
Well, umpire Eddie Wu wasn't all that interested because he wasn't actually. As soon as he heard the appeal, he turned his head down. So I don't think he was all that interested in it, Shane.
Yeah, and Crow's pretty disappointed with that. So.
Oh, well, he's in. Well, you can ask the question.
Yes, you can. They've asked it fairly politely. I think it helps when you've got 2 wickets in your previous over. You can ask a little bit more politely. So we're not going to get the replay here. Maybe a South Croydon fan in the camera.
As you well know, mate, the LBW was the most contentious decision in the game of cricket. Whittaker once again comes into bowl to Merritt. Ooh, small, maybe an inside edge onto the pad there.
Yeah, sounded like an inside edge. So Merritt at 40 now, score 5 for 115 in the 29th over.
Yep.
So if they can, get it up to 125, maybe 130 in the next 3 overs, 5 and over, and then keep the wickets intact as Whittaker comes in to Merritt. Nice drive, straight to short cover, fielded by Demetrio. It feels like it's a crucial part of the game. The crowd's getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah. There seems to be a heightened sense of anticipation building here. And that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, and I get the feeling the Montrose want Whittaker to be the man here to get a couple more poles.
Yep.
He comes into Bolton Merritt. Square drive, straight to Edwards at point.
Well, we're heading into the, it's probably the most exciting period of any 40 over game is those overs 30 to 40, because that's when big scores can be built after a solid foundation. But you just got to have the right batsman in at the right time.
Just put the fielder deep here.
Yeah.
So just, I think Merritt's just got to hold here, get through these couple of overs. And it's a nice stroke. That's going to reach the gap. Well fielded by McCain. 2 runs.
Mate, if they keep putting it there, there's 1s and 2s there for him every time, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't need to try and do anything different there. Just place it in the gap. 1s and 2s are fine for now. I'd almost look for him to bat through to the 36th, 37th, then maybe he goes and let the others around him have a little bit more of a dip. You know, the field's going to be spread for them early. He might get away with a bit of luck.
Whittaker once again coming in the bowl to Merritt. That's off the pads there, going down towards down to that leg slip region. It's a leg bye.
3 off this over so far. So Scotty Cogan will, he'll be looking for that cut square drive again. There is a big gap there and does run away. Whittaker will probably try and tighten him up a little bit. Yeah,
Glyn James and Tattersall probably the last of the recognised batsmen, if you want to call it that.
Well, it's a short ball and he's just placed that to square leg.
Yeah, just didn't overcommit on that shot. I think it got big on him too.
It did look like it got big on him, and so he ended up playing it pretty nicely. Could have easily spooned up nice and high, perfect catching. So as we the 29 overs gone, 5 for 100 and 119. I think
119, yeah. One more over, Shane, and
we get to eat the fantastic food we've been served up from Montrose Cricket Club. So thank you to them. Yeah,
it's been a good day. They've looked after us very well here. Crow coming in for over number 30. He's bowling to Scotty Cogan. Cogan just looking at all that is trouble.
Oh, he's just pegged that straight back at Crow.
Oh.
That was out if hit too. So Whittaker probably could have almost thrown it to Crow then, but
Crow in the bowl, Cogan. One of the things I've noticed too, Shane, in the bowler or fieldsman getting back on the stumps doesn't seem to be as prevalent as it once was. As Crow comes in the bowl, Cogan just pushing that back away through there onside. It's almost like the person keeping the stumps doesn't want to stand on it anymore.
Yeah.
Crow in the bowl, Cogan just pushing that back down the pitch, for no run. This is a good over once again by Crow. He's actually dictating the pace here, Crow, hurrying the batsman along as he gets through his cricket. Ooh. Well, that's what you're going to get with Cogan.
He tried to play that shot in the last over and hasn't shied away from it despite the LBW shout. So, I mean, if he gets away with a couple of those, could really set them up here. So, Crow into his 5th over, he's 2 for 13, huge wicket of King. Coming into bowl again to Merritt. Looks like he just changed the...
That's a wide.
Came off the leg.
And that's the end of the over. And that's the end of the 30th over. Score 5 for 120. Change of commentary team. It'll be Marcus Adams and Dave Raggett to take you through the last exciting 10 overs of this South Croydon innings.
Thanks, boys. Well, Marcus, this game's ebbed and flowed really. 1 minute Montrose has been in control, then South Croydon, then it's come back to Montrose, you'd say. Whittaker in the bowl.
It's been a real tussle, so momentum has, the pressure cloud has definitely been switching between the two teams. South Croydon really wouldn't have enjoyed losing 2 wickets in an over not too long ago, especially with the massive wicket of Michael King, who been starting to look really strong.
Whittaker into bowl. It's a lovely shot.
Glorious.
He's looked in great form all day. It's a beautiful shot, lofted over mid-off, 4 runs.
He's doing really well in holding his shape. It's one of the things that has let him down in the past is he starts trying to go across the ball and hitting a lot to mid-wicket and mid-on. And
over-hitting it, yeah.
Yeah, he's really held his shape, really kept in control and just found the middle of the bat a lot.
Whittaker into bowl to Merritt. Punch out through the mid-off. That's a long off.
Well, even that, he's not trying to overhit the ball, and that's flown to the fielder at long off.
So if you're in South Croydon shoes, you're Michael King, what total would you be looking at from here, Marcus?
I'm still looking at 185, 190.
Yep.
Like, they've still got the batsmen that can...
That's going to run, that's 4 runs.
That's 4 runs.
Yeah.
They've still got the batsmen that have got the power and the skill. Jolie Merritt obviously being in the form he's in at the moment, 47 not out, and then Scotty Cogan joining him, who's been through, seen it all, seen a lot of stuff, won a lot of premierships, knows what to do, and then their tail can always offer 20 to 30 runs if it needs to.
Yeah. Whittaker into bowl. Got Cogan. Well fielded thing.
It's going to be interesting to see who Montrose bowl at the death as well.
Yeah. Well,
obviously Whittaker's having his 3rd over in this spell now. See if it's going to be Demetrio, if it's going to be Perkins, who has got a lot of change-ups but could leak runs in the back end.
So I'll put you in Matt Whittaker's shoes now. What target are you looking to keep South Croydon down to?
Well, I think they still need to take wickets, so they still need to be aggressive in trying to do that. I don't think if they're trying to contain them to a score that they will.
Yeah.
So realistically, their batting lineup's got the strength to get whatever comes, but they've got to just keep and take wickets. So.
I mean, they've got, we said it at the start, Ryan Smith was a key wicket, then we said Michael King was a key wicket, well now Joel Merritt's a key wicket, but they keep pushing along South Croydon now, and whatever score they're going to get, it's going to be runs on the board, and grand final runs on the board at that, which is, maybe you could add another 20 to it, I don't know, but...
it's always harder work batting second in a final.
Absolutely.
It's a cliche, but it's a cliche because it's what
true.
Regularly happens.
That's right, yeah. Crow into bowl. Just back of a length.
I'm just looking at the stats as well. Jolie Merritt before today had only made 184 runs for the season, so it's a big game to put your hand up. And
just they come back. Oh, that's.
Oh, it didn't go.
Oh.
He took the bails there. That was going to be out.
That was going to be very close.
That was going to be the big wicket. Very interesting decision there.
Yeah. It's interesting you're saying about Joel Merritt's stats there. I mean, from ball 1, it looks like he's scored about 400 runs during the year, let alone you're saying those low figures. So that's the sign of a good player who can step up in the big games.
Well, that's it. I know his team's probably been asking him to do that for the entire season.
Yeah.
So they've made it to here and now giving him the opportunity to do that.
Yep.
And him repaying the faith that they've kept him in the team.
Crow into bowl. Oh, he's picked that one up. That's a lovely pick-up shot.
He's tried that one a few times, and he had the big LBW appeal last over.
It's an interesting shot because he's actually sort of played that off the back foot.
It's a stand-up sweep shot.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
If only I could play it. So it looks like South Croydon started to up the tempo as well. A little bit more intensity in that running down the in that earlier ball.
Yeah.
A definite change in intent here.
I reckon they may have said to Scotty Cogan, "You got a licence here." Joel Merritt may be looking to bat through these 10 overs, like 8-9 overs. It's a good way to bat the two as a partnership if it comes off. And sometimes it's key when you're bowling against a guy that's like unorthodox. I'm not saying that Scotty Cogan's unorthodox, but some unorthodox shots is hard to set a field to. You've got two completely different batters.
And it's probably one of those where Scotty's got a few shots, so he can go to a few different areas. At the moment, they're targeting his pad, so he's going, well, I'm going to take that area from square leg to fine leg. As we see a change in the bowling, Dan Demetrio's come back on. So we'll see what he does. He's got the little cutter.
Yeah.
And he does bowl very stump to stump. So again, if he misses that, there could be some scoring opportunities.
He's into bowl to Merritt. That's
out.
It's just when they're getting on top or looking to get on top, they lose the wicket.
And he hasn't gone all the way through that with that shot either.
No.
That was more of a chip, and he's just hit it straight down square leg's throat.
Yeah.
Straight towards us in the commentary box. He needed to do what Zippy did and put one up into the commentary box. See another one of those Wayne Brasher hangers.
Yeah. He was batting well. Batted very well. Looked good. Rory Tattersall's gone in. Well batted, Joel Merritt.
47 really set a bit of a platform for the boys to go here, and he's left probably another 20 or 30 runs out there. So hopefully one of these guys can pick it up for him. It's very interesting hearing that Glyn James is a recognised batsman.
Well, that's when I heard Mr. Wayne Brasher that come across the commentary. I must admit, I nearly choked on my burger.
I think a little bit of my solo may have been spat out. I love Glyn to death, but him as a batsman is not one of the things that I would recognise. Not out, going down the leg side. I was just about to ask you, Dave, whose position would you like to be in? And I think that wicket might have just turned it the other way.
Yeah, for sure. That momentum was going towards South Croydon, but I'd prefer to be in Montrose's shoes at the minute as it stands. 6 for 138 with 7-8 overs to go after this one.
Still a lot of time. So these guys can really knuckle in for a couple of overs again, rebuild a partnership, and then we might see some fireworks, and we might see Glyn come up the order to try and whack a few.
Yep.
He's a man who loves a sweep shot from off a paceman, so
just looking at Zippy King down there, he's got his foot in ice. So that one that we said looked sore when he took it on the forward, a big LBW appeal. Back in the day, that would have been his front foot, right? Yep.
Yeah. I still back him in for 3 run-outs and a catch today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that. Yep. Dimitri in the vault. Ooh. It's good running.
Scotty might have just beaten that throw anyway, so even if the bails had come off.
Yeah.
Eddie's had himself a good game as an umpire. He was umpire of the year last year.
Yes, he was, and was hoping to umpire the Trollope Grand Final last year, being his first one, but
He's had 2 LBW decisions. Both were absolutely plumb. So
and turned down 2 others, which is a good sign of a good umpire.
Shawnee's had a relatively easy day.
Yeah, not many gone his way.
He does always pick the good end, is the mail that I've been told.
Yeah. Good job by both the umpires to get to the final. I mean, you know, I've been on both ends of the stick, umpired, and been a bit overzealous when I played against tools umpires. It's a taskless job. Do a great job throughout the RDCA most of the time.
You'd be one of those that'd go with the bowler, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The appeal, the finger would be straight up, and
yeah. I mean, if it's clipping, it's out.
Especially when you get to the back end of the day and you're looking forward to getting a beer at the end of the day, the finger might pop up a little bit quicker.
It's 10 to 6 on a Saturday afternoon. There's no close LBWs. They're out.
These are the guys that obviously don't enjoy a drink, so they're the ones that keep you out there for that little bit longer. And
they're the proper umpires.
And that's the reason they're out there today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if Crowe maintains this bowling really straight and full. Field looks that way.
Gets through his overs quickly as well off that little short run.
Yeah, a little 4-stepper.
It's quite interesting, they haven't got any slow bowlers, have they? Or
No.
they have, but they don't use...
No, well Barney,
Yeah,
through the back end, like the last few years, has dabbled in a little bit of off-spin.
yeah.
And I think Shane was saying before that Josh McCallum bowls a little bit of it, but it hasn't really been tried at the higher level.
Yeah.
Kogan's just hit that beautifully into the gap.
That's gone for
That's
4.
going to be 4 runs. So he's not going to play around a little bit.
No.
He's going to be looking to up the tempo.
Playing a nice, useful little innings here.
Very nice little one. And again, he'd only made 143 runs in 15 games. So a couple of these guys that
standing up. Yeah.
us from outside of the club would probably be looking at going like, how are they keeping a spot? But they're repaying the faith today. Like Jolly Merritt with his 47, Scott Now with 26, not out. No, it's really good because he's pushing singles and looking for the gaps on the balls that are decent, and then the bad ones he's really looking to punish.
They've probably been saying to each other, see it through 5 overs to go. So it's given time for Tattersall to get in, and then I reckon last 5 overs you might see some fireworks, especially from Scotty Cogan.
Tattersall's job now will just be to get Scotty Cogan on strike.
Yep.
An update at Wilkins, Wonga Parker 3 for 102, so the Wiggle Wiggle Woo is out.
Okay.
The Ford brothers are in.
Yep.
Looks like Jackson's on 33. And it might have been Gabe Lawson, the leg spinner, taking the wicket.
Oh, yep. Good young bowler. Dimitri in. I think anything that's going to be venturing on the straight to Scotty Cogan, it's going to be coming in one area.
And
that's through the old cow corner.
Through the old in front of the wicket on the leg side.
Yep. So he might have to be a bit wider to him. Dimitri into Tattersall.
Yep, another wicket at Wilkins.
Yeah.
So that's Toby Ford out. Another wicket to Gabe Lawson.
Yeah.
So he's bowled 7.5 overs, 2 for 20.
Wow.
4 for 102. 32nd over is being completed. So
below par there, you'd say at the minute.
I would say that Norwood are well and truly on top of that one. And I also have the feeling that when they're batting, they'll probably try and do that within 15 overs.
Yeah.
As the 150 comes up here in the 35th over.
Jimmy chewing. 1 through to long on. 2 balls left of this over. Scotty Cogan on strike. You just feel the momentum might be shifting again next.
Again, but as we've said that all through the telecast,
ebbed and flowed.
When we've said that, something's happened.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Should be a
Back
couple
with
there.
a point.
Oh no, single.
Especially with the left arm thrower, you've really
Yeah.
got to be attacking and putting pressure on him.
Yeah, becoming
Throw was a little bit wide as well, so
There would have been 2, yeah. Held that one back. Oh, it's well fielded. Oh, and there will be a single. Sometimes you just get punished for bad for good fielding.
that throw would have been out if
Yeah.
it hit. Missed by the keeper, obviously missed by his brother, and then missed by the backup.
Yeah.
So a lot of things going on there. And the 2 batsmen had a coffee in the middle.
Yep.
So very good piece of fielding from Perkins. He normally doesn't miss too many. So as we just get a nice little wave from Joe Ferry from field of view.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job as always this year and throughout. Great sponsor of the competition.
Joe Ferry field of view replay screen,
Yep.
which has been named after her and her wonderful contribution to the RDCA this year. Jake Crow going to keep going, continue. He'll probably bowl out here, I would have thought.
5 overs to go. Five overs to go. I think we could see
the button has been
yes, well and truly given the old
I've got a Newey update as well. Mount Evelyn are 9 for 121
wow.
off 36 overs. Will Spencer has 3 for 20 off his 8. That is straight up in the air, and
This will take some catching.
he's dropped it.
Oh, that was a difficult chance.
Did a lot of the hard work, and then just couldn't quite complete the package.
It's like he overran it.
He had a couple of cracks at it, and it ended up behind him, between his legs,
Top of him.
then on the grass. Ooh, run out opportunity. So they have well and truly flicked the switch here, South Croydon. They're going to go at everything now, and now they potentially can push 200. Another wicket in the Wilkins Grand Final, so that's now 5 for 103, and Jackson Ford's out for 33.
Nord well and truly on top there. There's that foolish ball that's gone round to mid-wicketish. Crow into bowl. Dug out. Well bowled.
We also have an update at Pasco Shield. Ainsley Park batting at 3 for 112 off 32.1 overs. We currently have no scores out of the Heathwood versus South Warrandyte game, so if anyone's down there, they can shoot us a message and we can get that score on the air.
Yep.
And then in the Ian Spencer Shield, Wonga Park have had a little bit of a resurgence. They're now 5 for 116 off 35. So a little bit of a partnership being built there. That's currently 66 runs, that partnership.
Wow.
So they needed it, and now it's their time to push on.
4 overs to go. Scotty Cogan's out there for the 4 overs. I think they've been near the mark you're talking about, Marcus. 180, 185.
12th man's had a mare here. He's dropped two pairs of gloves. I reckon Wiz should have a try going upstairs here a little bit. Test him on the shorter ball.
Yeah.
Bring his mid on up and go on the top half.
Yeah, just
when the ball's been fuller, he's been looking to throw everything at it.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit different, with a little bit more pace, a little bit higher and up on the body.
Little bowl.
And he's gone the complete opposite and bowled it.
I think the key with bowling against Scott Cogan will be nothing too straight.
Away from him.
Yeah. Full ball. Go for a single.
Yeah, it's polar opposites when you look at bowling lineups. Like Montrose are very heavy on the pace, and then you look at South Croydon on the other side, and they're a very spin heavy team. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see how they combat it and how they rotate their bowlers through.
Yeah. Top ball.
Another ball in the block hole, hard to get out.
Well, Matt Whitaker would have also been in this position a few times. Won a couple of premierships at Moorabuk. Was it 2?
Yes, a couple.
2, yeah. A good career at Camberwell too. As he comes into bowl, Roy Tattersall.
Full one on the pads.
So the bowler, so Shane Van Cole's got 2 left, so he's probably not going to bowl. Will they stick with Danny Crowe? Jake Crowe, sorry.
Jake's bowled really well here,
yeah.
So he's bowled out though, so that might be opening the door for Van Cole to come up.
Another single, Cogan. What was Crowe's figures there?
8 overs, 2 for 31.
Yeah. It's well bowled in the business end of the innings as well, right through the middle to late overs.
And Matt McCain's just been the opening ball specialist. He bowled his 5 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 9, and hasn't had a look in since. The classic, that's all right, mate, we'll take care of it from here.
Yeah. Good over from Montrose there. Oh well.
Not used to seeing a number 8 in local cricket having a spare kookaburra just lying in the bag.
Ah.
How times have changed. Speak of the devil, McCain's coming on to bowl now.
There we go, what do we know?
Bowling the last 2 overs at the death. Well, Van Cole had a lengthy period off the ground after his spell, so interesting to see what that was. He's back out there now, but
well, as I said, he didn't play the last game of regular season, or was it the finals? I'm not too sure. So whether he's carrying an injury, but it was an impressive spell that he did bowl those 6 overs.
Yeah, 2 for 19.
Kane into bowl.
Oh, direct hit. Batsman not aware. Those runs could be crucial.
Well, you would have thought from here they'll get to 180 without pushing it.
Too much.
Run a ball will be 180.
Another wicket in Wilkins. 6 for 108.
Could be an early finish there.
Scotty Cogan looks to be sucking in the big ones here. He's done a little bit of running, and it's probably another couple, I would have thought.
Yep.
Straight into the gap. I think at the moment we could virtually play this game in a quarter of the field.
Yep.
We probably don't need to worry about the other 8 fieldsmen. We can just have the bowler, Scotty Cogan, and a mid wicket.
Yes.
And we can just play the game like that.
There's the old, what do they call it, the Cogan scoop.
The Cogan scoop up the hill, so it's only going to be 2 runs. Montrose have been a little bit sloppy with their throwing at the moment. They're giving Kieran Perkins a bit of a hard time behind the stumps. Everything's kind of a metre in front or a metre over his head.
Could be a couple there.
Yeah. Another 2. Tattersall pushing through, and Van Collett long off. Looked very ginger, didn't want any part of that ball at all. So I think it's safe to say he will not be bowling in these last couple of overs. Scotty Cogan has to be looking for a boundary here. He's probably sick of running.
Okay, slower ball.
Up in the air, in the gap.
That's safe.
He's cooked. We've just got Joe Ferry joining us up in the commentary box area, screaming out the long on Jake Crow should have dived for a photo opportunity.
Came into bowl, Tattersall.
That's
6 runs. And dropped in the crowd.
Dropped in the crowd, one-hander, sloppy effort.
It needed Brash over there, dropped in the crowd.
That's pushed them up to 176. Massive over there
Wow.
for the South Croydon doggies.
And the 12th man's run out drinks. Let's hope he doesn't make a mess up with this one like he did with the gloves.
No. Might need some pickle juice out there soon for Scotty Cogan. He'll probably be cramping up. He's moved along to 42 not out as well. So he's,
this is beautiful innings. This is proving out to be 42.
Where's he going here, do you reckon?
It's going to go
mid wicket towards the Bell Real Estate sign.
Yep. Mind you, I think Whitaker will be bowling wide or straight.
There is off stump, uprooted.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good innings.
Brilliant little innings there from Scotty Cogan. Cleaned up by Matt Whitaker for 42, and that takes South Croydon to 7 for 176.
Now we have the last of the recognised batsmen, as Brash would say.
Yes, this is Glyn James, recognised batsman. Yes, you heard that right, recognised batsman. Quote from Wayne Brasher.
Tell you what, if he makes 20, he makes me look like a G.
Here's the Joe Ferry field of view replay as we see Scotty Cogan's off stump just disappear with a couple of little rattles.
That was a good knock.
Quick around the grounds from the Ainsley Park second 11 versus Montrose second 11. Ainsley Park 3 for 121 in the 35th over. Nathan Croot on 41 not out.
Well.
And in Newey Plate, Mount Evelyn have been bowled out for 138.
Well, they might have saved their worst till last, but then runs on the board.
We've just got Wayne Brasher in the background telling us all about it. Glorious slice drive through backward point from the recognised batsman Glyn James.
That's well bowled.
Another Yorker right in the block hole. Played over the top of the stumps.
I think this spell's been very good. It's bowled good lengths. As it comes into bowl to Tattersall. Is that going to get through?
Good shot through the gap. Gave up the extra run. They're probably still in front in the runs count in the field here, Montrose.
Yep.
South Croydon have left a few there with a little bit of sloppy running, a little bit of awareness.
There's
little
probably
inside edge squirt. It's got it back for 2. Fieldsman went for the one-handed superstar pickup and didn't quite execute.
Forgot to do the pickup.
Gave them the easy second run. Oh, he's run backwards. Fielder out at long on has not attacked the ball.
It's good spell that by Matt Whitaker. That's those last few overs.
I felt like he was a little bit wide and short in his opening spell.
Yeah.
He's come back really well from there.
So we've got the last over. Score on 182.
Whitaker's figures 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 44. Last over of the innings, you're looking 190.
190, yep, you'd say.
We need Glyn James to get on strike here, just for Wayne Brasher.
Yeah.
Lengthy meeting between captain and bowler here. Just off the screen.
McCain comes into bowl.
That's very high.
That's going to be a 4.
It'll go for 4.
Yep. Very handy first ball of the over.
Very, very close to being a no ball as well. He sat right back in his crease and got the ball he wanted, and 4 more runs to the total. 186. Could it be a 195 score?
Kane into bowl. Another full toss. Low on that. Not far off Yorker length.
Here we go. Here's what we wanted to see.
How many does he need to score, Brash, do you think, for you to be in front with your comment?
10. Oh, they're bringing up the fine leg.
I think he did take 20 off of 1 over in a 2020 game, so he does hit the ball.
29 not out.
Oh. He hit that too well. So 3 balls to go?
3 to go.
188.
Let's see if Tattersall can get one in his arc.
Oh, it was. Oh, the umpire's got Shawnee Everett. You said he's had not too much to do, Shawnee Everett, and
one job, get out of the way of the ball. That'll go on the umpire's report later. Possibly cost South Croydon an extra run.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The last recognised batsman is out. Glyn James has been bowled by Matt McCain. Here we go on the Joe Ferry field of view replay.
Yeah.
That is just taken leg stump.
It was there in the slot for the big one.
That takes the score to 8 for 189. As a new batsman, I think Tom Lacey, I think that is.
Yep.
Here we go. What is it? 1 ball to go.
1 ball to go.
190. What are we going? Wicket or 6?
I'm going wicket.
And here they go. They've brought everyone up on the offside. And just an absolute plethora of fielders deep on the leg.
Oh, it's in the slot. There's a couple. There'll be a couple there. Two off. 191.
South Croydon finish 191. Another little bit of sloppy fielding from Montrose to finish off. Little fumble with getting the receive in, and wasn't even looking to take the stumps at the bowler's end.
No. Well, I don't know about you, but I'd much prefer to be defending 191 than chasing it. But
especially in a final, everything on the line.
yeah.
That being said, if any team's going to do it, it could be Montrose.
That's right. Yeah. And
Kieran Perkins and Michael Edwards get on a roll.
Yep. They can win it off their own bat.
Anything could happen here.
All right. Well.
Okay, so I'm going to be joined in the chair by Shane Kelton, and we're going to run through some of the other games that are going on at the moment. We have a special guest at the mid-innings break. It's going to be the captain of Croydon North's All Abilities team, down with Dave Raggett on the field. So at the moment, Wonga Park in Wilkins Cup, there's 2.5 overs to go, and they are 7 for 130. So I'd say that Norwood are well and truly in the box seat of that one, Shane.
Yeah, I think they're definitely in the box seat, with Hasty and Story going to be the crucial wickets at 3 and 4. The openers for Norwood this year have had pretty good years as well, so like we probably say most weeks, it's going to be early wickets are going to be key, and then we'll go from there. So
and then we've already alluded to the score in the Newey plate, which was Mount Evelyn have been bowled out for 138. Not a lot to talk of in the way of scores, but we had Gareth Fraser make 34, and that was the high score there, and we had Will Spencer take 3 for 20. So a lot of work has to happen there from Mount Evelyn, but they have been known to roll sides.
They have some wicket takers, and I don't think Witherden's had the best year. He's out there today. He's a bowler that can. No, he's not playing. There goes my information. Kane Jones, obviously a star, if that grade. So
won many a grand final off his own stick or with the ball. So in what have we got? Pasco Shield, we've got Ainsley Park at 3 for 150 with an over and a bit.
Okay, there we have it. Halfway through the innings, and 192. Was the score. Now we're just joined by Croydon North, the All Abilities side that won the Macca Premiership against Williamstown last Sunday, and won with hitting a 6 off the final ball. And I'm joined with Nick Henderson, who's the captain coach, and Ryan Sleeman, who's the president of the club. So this was a great achievement, especially being the first year that the All Ability side have been there. How did it come about?
I just approached Ryan with the idea about 8 or 9 months ago, and he asked me how serious I was, and I think we had 20 odd players in the on the list ready to play, and we went through the accreditation process, and here we are.
Now tell us about the game in particular. I mean, Williamstown have been playing a few seasons, and so you've obviously gone through to the grand final. And what was the actual scores of that game?
So we kept them to 9 for 138 off their 30 overs, which I thought was competitive, but I thought we could get it if we batted properly. And yeah, we ended up chasing it 5 down, and yeah, celebrated very well.
So what does it mean, Ryan, to be able to be having an All Ability side? And surely this is going to be a stepping stone for other clubs to follow, you would have thought?
I think it's massive. I think it's the next tier in cricket. I think we're going through that women's and girls thing now, where it's getting quite popular, and I think minority groups is really important, and it plays the next part, I think, in cricket. What it does from a community point of view, bringing everyone together. There's so many great stories. It's not just about cricket. If these guys weren't playing cricket, the question you need to ask yourself, what would they be doing? And off the top of our head, we could probably think of 5 or 6 really great stories where some of these guys have made some big positive changes in their life. And I think that once you show these guys a little bit of loyalty in saying, hey, we'll back you in, we're going to create a team for you, they pay it back in spades, absolute spades. And they buy the apparel, they want to buy be a part of the club in the colours, the enthusiasm that they show. They don't just rock up to their own games, they rock up to the seniors on a Saturday and watch them. They just want to be a part of something, and I think they're great club people. And we in a lot of cricket clubs, and I'm sure it's not just ours, but there's others where you go, geez, sometimes the lower grades mightn't always come back, or the 5th or the 6s, all of a sudden you've got a group of guys that are wanting to be there, and I think that creates momentum, and then all of a sudden the others start coming back too. So I find from a club perspective, it's been one of the best things we've ever done. So and from an RDCA perspective, speaking with Macca going through the accreditation, they were saying they would love to have more teams in the east, and in our section we've got Carrum Downs, Moorabbin and Seaford, and we're the only ones out here. There is big room in the RDCA to play a big part moving forward, and anyone that's having a half thought about it, I would encourage them to do it.
So how would they get in contact? Just by going through to you as the club? And
absolutely. You can contact president at cncc.com.au via email. Also, my number's up on the club website and Facebook page as well. But our numbers are just growing, even just after the win on last Sunday. I think we've had about 6 or 7 people already say, I want to come and play. So there is a lot of space. Get involved if you're a club thinking about it. It's the best thing you'll ever do. So
I spoke to Ryan yesterday, and he was telling me that, Nick, you're already driving the guys to start pre-season. Is that true?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, they're just quite a keen bunch of blokes. They've already started going down to the nets, and they just want to get back, keep going and keep building into it, and they just want to be the best cricketers they can be, and I can't ask for any more as a coach. And so how many games did you play during the year, and is it going to be the same sort of format next year? We played 5 regular season games, and then there was a once-off final. We usually play 6 from memory, but I think there'll be a pretty similar format next year, but they're looking to grow the competition, and if we can help do that, I'm sure we'll be putting our best foot forward to do so.
And like all sides when they're in premierships, and you mentioned it, you partied hard and had a good time.
Yeah, it's to say the least.
So, well, there you go. Thanks very much to Ryan and to Nick, and well done again. Congratulations. Cheers.
Thanks, boys. Yeah. And then just swap over to the logo. Just press cut or something in the middle. In the middle of the screen it says cut. Yep.
So if they can get over 150, each 10 runs, is big in cricket. As we said before with Mount Evelyn side, early wicket is going to be huge for all grades across the top 6 grades.
And in the Ian Spencer Shield, Wonga Park have been bowled out for 152 against Mount Evelyn. So that partnership got broken. We had Michael Williamson make 49 and Cameron Atkinson, the wicket keeper, make 39. But then a few little golden ducks in there have allowed Mount Evelyn to peg that back and have them all out in the last over.
I think Stephen Laurie Sanders got 6 for 28 off his 8 overs, which is fantastic in a grand final, and probably got one hand on the double dangler at the moment, you would think.
Now he just needs his batsman to get him through.
He does, that's all, he's relying on the batsman, so...
I think you wouldn't want anything worse than a double dangler or dangler in a losing grand final.
No, you wouldn't. No. It would look good in 10-15 years, but...
you don't need to tell them the result then.
Exactly right. No one cares about the result then.
And looking at this game, Shane, obviously South Croydon have gone back to making 8 for 191. Do you think Montrose can get this, and what do they have to do?
I think they need to be patient throughout the innings. They bat deep. They've got Shane Van Cole, Matty McCain and Daniel Demetrio, even Matt Whitaker batting from this 7 to 10 range, and all guys who have made, I would say, half decent scores in this grade over their time in cricket. So if they can bat deep and keep wickets in hand, I think it's going to go down to the last couple of overs, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm putting my focus and my match winner on Michael Edwards. Barney, he's been there, he's done it all. He's been a Montrose stalwart. He's played cricket in the first 11 for the last 20 years. If anyone's going to get Montrose their first Trellope premiership since 1978, I think they were talking about, it's going to be him.
Yeah, I don't think he'll mind the pressure. He's played a lot of high standard of cricket within our competition, and football as well, so he won't mind the pressure of the grand final. I think he'll thrive on it. He had a couple of weeks off towards the end of the season to get the body right, so I think he'll put everything on the line to really support the younger players up the top of the order. And I'm looking forward to seeing the battle between spin and with this fast ground.
Yeah, it's going to be like Ryan Smith's going to be the linchpin for South Croydon. He's been their leading wicket taker. He's been their leading run scorer. He's probably got his second Bill Dean medal coming up at the presentation night in a few weeks' time. Now all he needs to cap that off is a couple of wickets here and to win his team a grand final. Yeah,
another one who doesn't mind the pressure. and I think he'll be a key today. If he can get 2 or 3 wickets early in his spell, that will be really important. I think the openers, if they go down there, they sometimes go down the line of a spinner opening, but if their quicks can get them off to a good start and allow the spinners to have a few wickets on the board, it really does create that pressure which the spinners will want.
We're just watching the South Croydon boys warm up at the moment, and I'm sure the Warrenwood boys down in Wilkins would love to see Glyn James do well, as much as they give him an absolute pile of crap during the year. I'm sure they would love nothing but success for him, and I'd love to see him in his actual recognised role as a bowler step up. And he's normally a massive finals contributor, so let's see if today's his day as well. He's looking every bit of 60 though in these little warm-up balls at the moment. So
he's looked like that for 10 years though. I am interested in seeing how young Storm bats in the big grand final. Played against him the other week. Played for Moorabah, and we had him in a little bit of trouble early, 3 wickets down, and he held the innings together with a nice 20, and unfortunately threw it away. But on the slower ground of Moorabah, out here, if he can dig in if they need to, it could be really impressive. I think we've got a kid who'll be watching for the next 10-15 years play some really high quality cricket.
Well, his dad was a very handy cricketer himself, so if he's got any of the gene that that his dad Ash has got going on, then he's in for a long career and a lot of runs.
So end of innings in the second 11, Ainsley Park finished 6 for 169. Bailey O'Neill 1 for 9 off 8 overs. Fantastic return from an 17-year-old kid or thereabouts. To go up 1 and over in a grand final is fantastic. So who's you tipping that game?
I'm tipping Montrose. I think I've had them as my tip the whole way through, so I'm going to back them. Another son of a gun, Josh Bromley, made 100 a few weeks ago. I'm tipping that he can do.
The calibre of these 2 batsmen, the idea will be it'll be about keeping wickets in hand for this 20, knowing they can catch up with the depth. So